Hey everybody, this is the Way of the Future podcast coming live from Mr. Peanut's Penis Shell. I'm a little drunk. My name's Anthony.
We're all a little drunk.
I'm Dr. Frankenstein.
I'm Ian Jones.
And I'm Evan.
I'm drunk. And we're going to talk about Ash vs. Evil Dead,
Fargo,
and The Leftovers.
Yep.
We got 2 episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead to talk about.
Yep, it's a double shot, but I got to tell you, from my opinion, it's a double shot of shit.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thanksgiving put us a little off kilter on that one, so we have to make up for lost time and our laziness now.
They got 2 turds in the chamber.
Oh.
2 turds in the chamber.
Okay, I don't think they were really, like, the worst fucking episodes ever, but, like, yeah, you're right. Like, the show is starting to, like, wear a little thin, like, on the humor, and, oh, we've got, like, a semi-attractive, like, young girl on here. Let's try and make her, like, super sexy to people all the time.
Can she put on a shirt?
Yeah, no, well, I mean,
just a regular...
Are you talking about the girl that,
Yes.
that Pablo likes?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm worried more about the nipples of the black woman that's the cop. Because her boobs are huge.
What's gonna happen to those nipples? No, I mean...
She just continually gets more and more annoying to me.
Will
Okay.
a deadite bite her nipples off?
I'm actually...
Exactly.
Okay, if we're really gonna talk about the black lady, no, and her nipples, no, I'm more worried about the fact that, like... Okay, Lucy Lawless, like, from what I have, like, gathered in all the episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead so far, are they just cutting out everything aside from the first Evil Dead?
It looks like it's just all the second one.
They
Because
showed scenes from the first and the second.
Yeah, they showed scenes from them both, right? But Evil Dead 2 is the one where he gets sucked into the past, and they're obviously not doing that part of it. And also, if Lucy Lawless is supposed to be the daughter of the main dude,
She said he killed my father and
her
sister.
sister.
So she's another.
And her mother.
no, she said my father and my mother.
And my sister.
And my sister.
Well, wait, she didn't even die.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Wait, how did she die in 2?
She killed the thing at the end. She was dying when she was saying the incantation.
Yeah,
She
but
got
like,
stabbed in the back with the spine knife.
Yeah.
I thought she stabbed somebody else in the back with the spine
She did
knife.
do that, but then she got stabbed. I think
Yeah.
it was by
Herself?
Ash's cut
That
off
big
hand.
tree monster thing grabbed her, and then she was getting squeezed to death by it. And then she was incanting the Necronomicon.
There was a
And
tree
then-
squeezing? What the fuck?
It grabbed her through the door,
Have
remember?
you seen
Tree
Evil
root
Dead 2?
hands.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't a tree. I thought it was like a big
Well, it was
fucking
like
head
the
that
spirit
was
of the
coming out
fucking
of the-
forest
It
thing.
might have been that thing too. I can't remember.
No, I thought it was like a big monster
skull
head
monster.
fucking thing that was
No.
coming out of like the
'Cause
big
what
portal.
What she was reciting
Not a
was
tree.
it was.
I don't remember portal.
It was a 2-part
The
incantation.
portal's when he gets sucked in at the
It
end.
was a 2-part incantation. It was one. It was to make the evil manifest itself.
Yeah, that's
and then
right.
The second
That
part
was the
to open the portal.
That was the manifestation.
And the manifestation right before it was when her dad talked to her through the time. Remember, he was all like, "I'm here,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck your name
That was
is,"
so dumb.
and then no, the bigger thing is coming through, and then that's when the big fucking skull and shit came through, and that was not a tree.
Well, I'm just
There
saying.
was a tree doing something.
I'm just saying.
Well, the tree does the raping.
Yeah.
Like,
the
that's
tree
what
is
the tree
rape.
is.
Came back, it came back and
Sorry.
did something later.
I'm just got that on my
But either
mind.
way, I remember her getting stabbed with the
always
spine knife, and her being like dying, reading the book.
Okay,
To open
okay,
up the
I'll
portal.
believe you on that. Okay, but that's. I thought that was supposed to be her. I thought that was supposed to
No.
be Lucy Lawless.
And
Yeah.
Remember, you notice how she cut the thing's head off before you can be like, you are. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Which made me
yeah.
think she was lying.
Yeah, I think she's lying.
Yeah.
Because before that, when she was talking to that other dude, in the last episode, the thing was like, "You're a whateverite,"
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Shut up," and she killed it.
Yeah.
Well, like, if you really think about it, though, like, I mean, okay, she might be something, like, really evil, and she might be misleading the cop lady, but, like, really, like,
I think
the
she
shit
is
that she
misleading.
has been saying about Ash isn't untrue. Like,
Yeah.
he really is fucking the
Fucking up.
reason for everything that's happened.
But he's El Jefe.
Like, yeah, no, okay, did you also notice that? Is that his cousin was mentioning, and Pablo now in this episode, different than the other episodes, is mentioning the Jefes as multiples,
Yeah.
plurals. There's more than one Jefe. Like, as before, it sounded like he was the chosen one, like they were talking about him in Army of Darkness, but in this one, Like it's like, oh, it almost sounded like they were shifting the story. Like I get this really bad feeling that there's gonna be like a Pablo versus Evil Dead. Like a spin-off, but without Bruce Campbell. We talked about this where before. Bruce Campbell can fucking make money off of it, and Sam Raimi can make money off of it. They don't actually have to have anything to do with it.
You brought this up because you were afraid this was going to happen, and it seems like it might be that way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Bruce Campbell's getting a little old, and if CM Punk doesn't get his little acting...
Oh my god, not CM Punk.
He's not going to be able to
John
play...
Cena!
Yeah, he's not going to be able to play Bruce Campbell's part.
Okay. Wait, okay, so did you also notice that they actually fucking... I thought this was notable, at least, for Evil Dead. They showed what the camera... they showed what the camera is always fucking like... Okay, when the camera's rushing the forward. View. And they gave a name to it, like a weird Tremors nickname to it.
Tracker.
You know, he called it a drafter. It's a drafter.
I
thought it...
I'm not sure now.
It sounds the same, but I think it was a drafter. But yeah,
it's just a big green fart floating through space.
Dude, are you sure that Lucy Lawless wasn't the daughter?
No, she said that. No, she said
she
that you
had
killed
the
my
knife
sister.
though. Even it's different.
It's not the same one.
It's not the same. But like,
remember he found that knife at the dig where he found the Necronomicon. So that doesn't mean that they can.
But she was supposedly there. Like I don't know.
No, it wasn't her.
I remember 100% her saying.
She said you killed my sister. Yeah, we all heard it except for you.
But now that doesn't mean she is actually that sister.
But yeah, see, before the demon could expose her, she killed it.
Yeah.
Which which they set it up to be like, oh, she's lying. That was a complete tell. Where there's not going to be a twist there if she comes out saying.
We're on to you.
Yeah, we're on to you. Another thing I had a problem with was it was a fucking weak scene. Like
nothing happened.
Nothing happened with her. Anything Lucy Lawless was in the first episode that we watched, which was which one?
The first episode.
The one that we watched tonight.
It was episode 4.
Okay, so episode 4. In the beginning of episode 4, it was a weak showing of Lucy Lawless, and I feel like it really didn't do anything besides set up a little backstory on her a little bit.
Yeah.
If it might be a backstory.
And the one important part that I will say in her storyline so far, and I mean it's not really important, but I do like the tie back to the original series is the hand.
The hand.
She has Ash's actual hand.
And also the flashbacks that they showed from...
That was later though when he was... Like...
No, I know. I'm just saying that was a tie-in to the other stuff.
I did actually like, even though you're kind of right. These episodes aren't that strong, like in the moving the plot forward
there's
like
good parts
way.
Of them.
Like okay, yeah, I was gonna say like Ash's fucking trip out sequence though is, I think, actually pretty cool. Like that and his weird obsession with Jacksonville. Like I'm down with the Jacksonville obsession.
The obsession is not that weird. He's an extremely sleazy guy, and if you're a sleazy person, you go to Jacksonville, Florida.
You think Jacksonville, Florida is the fucking bee's knees?
Well, think about
the
Jacksonville,
Mecca.
Florida in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, I don't fucking know shit about Jacksonville, Florida. Like, is it known as like a fucking place for sleazeballs?
Any city in the 70s is better than it is now.
Yeah.
He didn't even go there. He's just like sees the name.
Well,
he's sold on the name.
He said he was supposed to go there, but then he decided to go to the fucking woods with this chick.
Yeah, but like he's like any place that would call itself Jacksonville is good.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like an idealization.
What does that mean?
Must like the Jackson 5.
Maybe he really likes fucking President Jackson.
That was like the last normal thing he had planned before his life got thrown out.
Yeah.
And so he's just held on to that as like a safety net sort of thing. Where
but he never.
Whenever he thinks about how fucked up
the last thing he ever wanted before.
Yeah.
Before he turned stupid.
It's honestly it's realistic too. He could still go to Jacksonville.
Yeah, but he probably doesn't want to go there because he doesn't want to be disappointed. Yeah, it's his fantasy place now.
Well, he would fit in. Perfectly in Jacksonville.
It's his Camelot. You could say Gatorade that hand.
Have you seen I know we have, but have you seen the documentary about fucking just crazy people in Florida?
It's called Florida Man.
No. It's nuts. It's basically a guy that just goes on the streets and he's fucking interviewing people in Florida. And half of them are like, yeah, I start fights for fun because I like to see blood.
Okay, so I have a friend
dressed slutty so I can fight the guys that.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the funny thing. My friend that lives in Jacksonville, Her last name is Jackson. Heather Jackson, I'm calling you out. You told me about your family. And I laughed.
Like the punch and kick and rape.
Well, no. I don't know about the raping, but it's funny because I asked her like, are people there rednecks? And she said, yeah, people say yeehaw all the time.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
These people weren't saying yeehaw. They were just.
I asked her, does your parents have a picture of Jesus and Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the wall above the kitchen table?
You're talking more where we grew up, dude. The Midwest. That's a Midwest
like NASCAR
thing.
All the way
Daytona, Florida, man.
One day,
Daytona 500 is in Florida.
One day I took a long walk to nowhere in Illinois. A long walk, like fucking 15 miles in the wrong direction. I got lost, and it's a long fucking story.
But Dale Earnhardt showed up.
No, dude, the place
showed
where
up in Evansville.
Hop in the car, yeah.
The place where so a lawn showed up like as my feet were like getting ready to fall off. There were blisters all over them, and I was like, I need to fucking find a phone. I need to get out of the middle of nowhere. This is a bad idea, right? And yeah, the lawn I came up to fucking like was full of it had like 2 fucking pit bulls in it, and in the lawn emblazoned fucking no, somebody had fucking mowed into the lawn NASCAR, just super fucking big, and I was just like, man, this is not good.
You're gonna get raped.
2 Rottweilers or was it? It was either Rottweilers or Pitbull. It was the kind of dog that fucking eats you, like and fucking NASCAR,
all
dude.
dogs given the chance.
Well, anyway, luckily the fucking people saw me like with my feet like looking horrible and whatnot, and they let me use their phone.
You know why? It's because you were white.
Yeah, if you had been black, it would have been
just
totally
a white boy
different
dying in my
That's
funeral.
definitely true. That's definitely true.
Even though you have kind of black man features.
They would have straight up called the police and pulled out a gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So back to Ash vs. Evil Dead, though.
It sucks.
No, she was possessed, and that cool demon came back, but I didn't like how, like, at this point...
It didn't look cool anymore.
Well, no, I do think it still looked cool, like, when it looked like him, but I feel like the idea itself was over... I don't know what the fuck... I don't know what you have a problem with the visual.
Well, let me speak.
Yeah, how did it go?
My issue with the demon is that it's got this, like, weird, like almost like a TV that's going through static type quality.
Yeah, but the thing is like,
and there's no reason for that.
Yeah, there is. Okay, it's a dimension or it's like a demon. It's possibly from another dimension, and you also have to fucking suspend your disbelief. This is what you do for any story, but you have to suspend your disbelief as if this was actually happening to you.
And I'm trying to do that while I'm watching it, and it's kind of hard because it looks like a fucking hologram.
If that was really happening to you, you'd be shitting all over yourself and fucking questioning your sanity.
I just felt like
questioning my sanity for sure.
Way, like the fact that it would make you question your sanity is scary in itself, but the fact that it's fucking like teeth are like fucking hanging out of like skin that's like fucking wrapped around its...
It looks like something out of Silent
Hill. A vagina.
Something out of Silent Hill.
I've seen them. I know you live with one, but yes, it looks like something from Silent Hill or fucking Hellraiser.
Doom.
Yeah, or Doom.
Or
like,
Drowner.
It's something that looks like fucking legitimately.
So it's been done before, people.
No, it's not been
done.
Before.
Just to be accurate, Dr. Frankenstein said last episode that we had, last podcast, that the girl that's in Pablo's heart, gets possessed by that thing, and she was right.
Yeah, you're right.
We all said that the thing ate him, and then we all said, yeah, maybe something's in her, but Frankie was the one that said it first.
Here's the question then: what the fuck did she really? What did she really do with that book then? When she smacked him with it, she didn't fucking do anything. Then?
I guess it kind of bunks the book being all red hot.
Yeah, no, something happened there, but nothing that
maybe affected
it vaporized the demon. It didn't even vaporize it. I guess the light going into the book's mouth meant it was actually going into her.
I don't know.
Some crap. It was.
No, it was this black smoke that surrounded her. That's what
yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It did also show that fucking ball of energy going into the book's mouth. So it's like.
I think she was just vulnerable because she fucking sucks as a person.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
That's the other gripe that I had was when she was possessed by that thing. It kind of just didn't.
It's like, hey, let's be slutty all of a sudden.
Yeah, not only let's be slutty, like, there was no, like, it didn't seem like the demon was in there. It didn't seem like why did the demon need to play games?
I was gonna say there's no reason for her to try and trick him into shooting himself like that. She could have
just stabbed him. Just use the fucking fingernail thing on your head.
It's a demon of the mind. But like, dude, it was really just Sam Raimi fucking wanting to do what he wanted to do.
I wouldn't be surprised. Not wearing a shirt.
First of all, I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Raimi. I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Raimi didn't write this one. I wouldn't be surprised if he just was the executive director. Let him do what they want.
Well, that's always what
executive producer.
That's what they usually do. Is they get their name on the first and the last episode.
Yeah. I bet he didn't write this one at all, and that's why I hated it. I'm just saying. I have a feeling that
we're going out of order, by the way, because that smoking is in the. It's after she electrocutes him.
Yeah, it basically goes from dude. I also
taking the shotgun hit.
Yeah. That's true. Let's just talk about fucking episode 5 also at the same time, because we watched 4 and 5 together. So we got the one where we met the Brujo uncle and the acid trip together, and then the whole torturing the girl episode together. So
I liked all the different ashes that the sacks on their heads.
Yeah, I did like cool. that. Yeah. And dude, one of them was even his girlfriend. Did you see that? Like
the wedding dress or whatever it was.
But the one thing I didn't like about the trip out sequence, the only thing I didn't like about it, everything else was pretty cool, but the one thing I didn't like was the stupid fucking dolls came back. Yeah. I hated the stupid dolls in the first place. I thought they were really dumb.
It was kind of going back chronologically from where he was to then.
Yeah, I know.
Because he said, I'm not a stock boy anymore. You can't make me blah, blah. Mm-hmm.
I also realized that it's like using assets that they already made for the earlier episodes,
even though that doll
too.
Looked better in this one.
Yeah, it did. It fucking did look better. Like it, but no, it was still like, come on, why did you do that? You could have just not done that, and it would have been better for it.
This is an easy little.
I'm telling you, it was probably a different writer. It's probably a different writer, and he really fucked it up. Sorry, dude, but. You just got a bad egg. I'm sure you're a great writer, but you just hit a bad
I still think the trip out part is good, but like a lot of stuff about it wasn't good.
I like that he got his hands back in his mind, and he's like, I need 2 fucking beers.
I kind of like how, like, even though they didn't show it in the finished hand, how Pablo was making out of the power glove too, and I almost wish he would have made some offhand fucking now you're playing with power comment, but. I guess Freddy Krueger did that already.
Ivan and Sam Raimi wrote this episode.
Really?
Well, maybe they did.
You fucked up, Sam.
No, maybe it was Ivan. Yep, it was Ivan.
Oh, Ivan.
Fucking Ivan.
No, Ivan's always his writing partner. I bet he does get a lot of the blame for the bad stuff, though. Even though
you both fucked up. You both took it on. You both fucked up.
Ivan had nothing to do with Spider-Man. So.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Oh, God.
Ivan fucking, like, literally has written on almost all the same movies as Sam.
Yep.
Like, he is always there.
Spider-Man 3 sucked.
No, Spider-Man 3 sucked because I don't know.
I don't know what you guys did.
Third fucking, like, contract movies in, like, trilogies, like, go to shit always, almost. Unless they're, like, on something that's already been made. Like, Return of the King. And even Return of the King, I felt like lost focus a little bit. It felt like Twin Towers, but not as good.
Okay, let's get back on topic.
Yeah,
because Lord of the Rings is way the fuck off.
Okay, so when they poured the water in her mouth, she peed a lot. Let's go from there.
She's peeing.
That's like the end of the second one.
Yeah, that's the end of the second one.
No, that wasn't the end. That was
Honestly,
the beginning of the second one.
I don't. Honestly, the second episode was just like hail to the shit of the one before it.
Yeah.
And it really didn't do anything for me like the other one did, and this one was even worse than the 4.
It really was, actually. A lot of it was fucking the uncle like exercising her, and then fucking Ash and Pablo being all like,
Pablo being like, I love her though, Holmes, and then Ash being like, well, let's just kill the bitch.
Yeah.
I would have killed her.
You know what?
I think it would have been.
I like how Ash started like kind of embracing his powers.
Yeah, they just don't think.
Yeah.
It's like shoot, think later.
That's what he was doing in the whole first and second movies. He was never planning anything. He was just reacting.
I was gonna say, it's like he's always been a reactionary like.
Did you see how stupid that got though? He's like, don't think, and then the first thing he does is he just fucking throws the shotgun in the sky.
He does what he feels he should.
No, but that's ridiculous. Like that's awesome, but that's ridiculous.
He follows his body.
Did you also hear like how there's referring to like the power in him as the light of the Hefe? Like
that actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense because I was just looking at the IMDb and the last episode is called The Dark One.
The Dark One was inside the book though, wasn't it?
Dude,
I don't know.
no, there's a lot of stuff in the book.
Yeah,
no. I mean,
they mentioned the Dark Ones, and they were like basically like old gods who were responsible for the power of.
Oh, okay, I thought it might have been
But
like a
isn't the-
contrast to the light Hefe with the Dark One.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
of
pretty
course
sure
it
that's
is.
where they're
Yeah.
kind of bringing in that there's multiple Hefes, so there's multiple light ones.
Yeah,
and
but isn't
multiple dark ones.
isn't the Dark One in the third movie, which doesn't get counted, in Army of Darkness? Isn't the Dark One just his double that grows off of his shoulder?
Oh, that's
Maybe.
true.
Yeah.
But
I think actually
That thing
no,
leads the Deadites.
I mean, like this
It
might
is,
actually be
yeah.
spoilers, like, fucking.
This is all spoilers.
No. I mean,
sorry, people.
No, I'm not talking about the people listening, but I mean, like, for ourselves, like knowing the name of that episode, that the Dark One could actually just be referencing the power. Like, what if we meet the? Okay, because like in the Evil Dead remake, also, like they. At the end of that movie, and I don't think it's going to get a sequel, even though it could use one, but I don't think it's going to get a sequel. At the end of the movie, the evil actually personifies. It turns into a body
black,
at the end.
shadowy guy.
No, it's like a bloody fucking body.
yeah,
Oh,
but
was
she
it?
kills it.
Yeah, she kills
There's
it, but
something
that's
called,
just the
like,
body.
It's like the Whore of Babylon. Or
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
no, but it was like it. It was turning into that, and like I think that the Dark One might actually
Apparently,
be it
I haven't
also.
seen it, but there's an after credit scene with Bruce Campbell
Oh, what?
in the Evil Dead movie.
How do I not know that?
Yeah, I don't know how we missed it, but I was reading about it the other day.
You're talking about the remake.
Yeah.
Post credit
It's an after
We
sequences.
didn't. I don't think anyone said remake.
That movie
Yeah,
sucked.
Yeah, we did. We said remake.
I didn't care for that movie.
Actually, I like that
thought-
movie.
I
liked
thought it
the
was just
gore.
horror
I
porn.
liked the gore, but like it didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie.
It didn't. It just felt like
No, I
it just felt like
actually-
horror porn to
I
me.
thought it felt more like I thought it felt a lot like Evil Dead 1. I didn't think it felt like Evil Dead 2 or Army.
well, it
but
wasn't
I didn't
funny.
like the whole premise where they're like, "Well, we gotta take her out to this cabin to get her off heroin."
Yeah,
Let's
she's
give her
a
a bunch
drug
of
addict.
money.
Ooh.
And-
Okay, so they're not like a
and-
fucking happy-go-lucky bunch of
Well, no,
fucking
my
whatever
other
the
main
fuck
complaint
from the
is
70s,
the
just looking to
Deadites.
fucking live in the wilderness.
My other main complaint though is that the Deadites kind of just seemed like possessed people now.
Yep.
Okay,
Now,
fair enough on that.
They didn't seem
I'll
like monsters.
I'll give you that on the Deadites, but like I will say that the violence level and the taking the serious nature towards like what's going on with
Yeah,
the
it went back to
Necronomicon.
the
It
first
reminded me
one.
more of the first one, and I actually appreciated that. Like I liked the fucking remake, to be honest, and I also like how they juxtapose the characters themselves, which really the only character that at this point in the story that made any sort of like anybody cared about was Ash. I liked how they actually split Ash into two characters, where it's
Well, they
the
made me
brother
think the
and the
brother was
sister.
gonna be it
It's
the whole time,
it's
except
both of
her
them.
name was Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like-
but it's both the characters.
And then she gets her fucking hand
Right. They
smashed
split
off
it
by
up.
that Jeep.
Yeah,
And you're like, okay,
yeah.
she's
But he
obviously-
does some of the Ash stuff in the beginning too. But anyway, I thought the movie wasn't too bad. It's just that it definitely didn't hit on the fans of the movie, who are the fans of the Evil Dead series are traditionally more for the culty part of it, the weird, funny.
Yeah,
Which is
like,
why we
I
like
like
Ash
the
versus
weird,
Evil Dead.
funny
Yeah.
Evil Dead, not the seriousness of Evil Dead.
I think
Well,
it can be both.
Yeah, I like both versions. One's Lovecrafty and one's
That's kind of
one's
the
fucking
problem I have
sleep
with these
Didian.
last two episodes
Or-
is there's not enough actual scary stuff going
Exactly.
on.
It was
Yeah.
too much funny.
Yeah, it's just like
And
I
it's
don't-
not funny though.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like
funny.
they're
Evil
trying
Dead
to be,
2
but it's not quite getting there. Where
felt
it's
forced.
actually making you laugh.
I felt forced, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, dude, like there wasn't like the funniness of the movies came from Bruce Campbell's slapstick and Bruce Campbell's like fucking cheeseball like fucking assholey humor.
Yeah.
But the bad part is when they start trying to put the cheeseball humor onto other people, and it doesn't really work when it's chick. Cause like, dude, he's just like a slime ball, like I'll fuck anything with legs type guy, right?
Yep.
But when you put that on a female,
Even Pablo.
well, Pablo wants to be like that, but he's
No,
just,
Pablo wants to be fucked by
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, oh, yeah.
Make me a man,
Yeah.
Hefe.
But like,
Oh,
dude, when you
God.
put it on a chick though, she just starts looking like a slut. It
But
sucks,
that's because
but
of
like
your
that's
double
just the way.
standard.
No, it's not my double standard. That's society's double
But you're
standard.
the one who's saying you have a problem with it.
No, I'm saying society has a problem with it. And any female that does that looks like a slut. Just saying. Like, it's the truth.
That's your
It's-
perspective,
No,
though.
it is not my perspective. That's the way that it is.
I'm
a
sure
slut,
there are
everybody.
men out there who don't feel like women are sluts because they sleep with people.
No,
don't
I
care.
feel like if they act like Ash, that they would be perceived as that. It doesn't have anything to do
Yeah.
with... She hasn't
If
slept
they,
with anyone.
if they acted loose and like after
Yeah.
the D like that,
Yeah.
Well, like a lot
he is
of
after the V.
well, like a lot of
Yeah,
how
exactly.
Ash acts is that he's confident in himself. Not only
No, it
he's,
isn't.
Like not only
He straight up fucking says shit like he's going after your vagina.
And I'm pretty
Like,
sure
he fucking just up and says
that's
it.
the only thing that makes him feel like
We're
he's
talking
worth anything.
We're talking about personifications of male and females in like storytelling now, and like you will never be able to personify females in the same way that males are, at least in this time frame. Like the era that we live in now, for a very long time, without them just coming off like sluts. It's
I
sorry,
disagree.
but it's okay. I mean, we can disagree on that, but it's like the truth.
Mad Max Fury Road.
What does that have to do? She didn't
Had
come
nothing
on.
to do with sex.
She,
That was a
she didn't
great
come
film,
on to
though.
anybody. You know, it's like the opposite of that.
The only two people that had a
She's
romantic
the
relationship was that
antithesis of
redhead,
Bruce Campbell.
the redhead breeder,
But she
and
did things
Nuts.
that men did in that movie.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Anyway,
But
we'll move
You
on to
just
Fargo.
said women can't be portrayed as men are in this like society.
No, I said men or women cannot be portrayed as horny
You
men
didn't
are
say
portrayed.
that,
Yes, I
though.
did.
He did.
Yeah,
He said women can't act like horny dudes act on TV.
like fucking
unless-
Bruce Campbell.
They just end up
acted.
looking like sluts.
and that's exactly what I said.
But a horny dude on
Whatever.
TV would just look like a regular guy that's just horny, and he's
Yeah.
funny because he's horny.
It's just the way
That's
it is.
what he's talking about.
Right now, at least.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
just saying that's
it's all
like,
broken. It's all broken.
Yeah, I'm
system.
like, that's
Well, no,
the
because in
major
this
double
last
standard.
no, it isn't, because in this last episode we just saw the girl fucking acting horny and like just like Bruce Campbell, and what did she come off as?
That's
Super,
not okay.
super
Wait,
No, she
slutty.
that's
wasn't
not the
acting
act.
horny,
But that's
though.
that's
Yes, she
this is
was.
the- yes, she was.
Why don't
She was
you
trying to
hit
get onto
this
Pablo. You
fucking
can kiss
shotgun,
me wherever you
and
want
yeah,
after you take
can
a hit.
do that and do this. to
Here's
me.
the thing. That is not her fault as an actress. That is Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi's fault for the writing.
Writing.
Yeah, but nobody was blaming the actress. What I'm saying is
yeah.
that they were writing her
As
the
to
way
be
that
that way.
Ash acts. Like
but it wasn't
normally,
her, it was the
and-
demon.
but it doesn't have anything to do with that. It just has to do with the fact that she was saying stuff that Ash would have said normally, but she came off looking super slutty because of the conventions
Like,
of
that was-
normal
Well,
everyday
also they
society.
had her not wearing a shirt.
I thought they were just trying to make her
No, they-
seduce Pablo for no
they
reason
were-
at all when the Zeman could have just killed him.
I was just
Yeah.
making the
Yeah.
statement on how females
Yeah.
can't be represented the same way males are.
And it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of male writers that write them as sluts.
Yeah.
Well,
But you're
also-
right. That
also
you can't
males
write
just
a,
don't
write a
know-
girl like you write a guy. You
Yeah.
just can't.
Yeah. Not right now.
It's really hard to do. Mad Max did it, but it's really hard to
No,
do.
but that's when the themes are so optimistic, like so far off the base of sexuality that you can't even like run into that. And even then, like there were a few parts of Mad Max that were nothing concerning Furiosa, but the harem squad was
Yeah.
very very like that.
See,
but,
like I write, and I have a really hard time trying to think for the women that I write in my scripts. A really hard time.
Well, see,
because
like,
I don't want to make
everybody-
a woman not like a woman really is.
yeah,
But it's really hard to not shoehole or pigeonhole someone. Shoehorn, sorry. Shoehorn or pigeonhole someone into a like a stereotype.
you should always just.
Really
I
hard.
feel like the best advice is what George R.R. Martin did, and fucking
Make them all sluts.
No,
And hang them after.
no.
Arya Stark's not a slut.
No, you should
Yet.
basically just. The way I take it from because he says right, everybody is just a person.
She just
so
wants to fuck
basically,
her half-brother.
yeah, but like what that really means is like, I think at least is like he looks at like okay, so you're familiar with men, right?
Yeah.
And so you write men, and like you can write very many different kinds of men. Why don't you just write the fucking females like the men?
That's the thing that I
Exactly.
keep telling myself to do, but then when I start writing the woman, I get kind of stuck.
I
And
think it's more like you telling yourself not to think about an elephant, and then you automatically think of an elephant. Like
Yeah,
you're
maybe.
telling, you're
That
telling
could be.
yourself to
But
not
this is the
think of
thing.
these as
But
women.
this is the thing.
And then you're automatically thinking of them as
But
women.
this is the thing, when it comes to this episode, they're writing this girl as not a character, but as a device
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
used to carry a story,
She is most
which is what
definitely-
you should never try to do anymore. It's such an old thing that's dead.
No,
it
no,
should have been. It should have
they're
died a long time
definitely
ago.
trying to use
We
her.
should never use women to try to push a story, dialogue, or
I'm
Yeah.
just sick of
They're
chicks.
definitely doing that because like her story
Narrative.
at this moment is over. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's at this
She's-
point right now. Is
she's
just
just booed.
She
Fuck,
could have
dude.
died and no one would have cared.
Yeah, so
She's
I mean,
Pablo's love interest, and
Yeah.
like it very much like
You know what? She could have died, and then Ash could have just been like, "Well, Pablo, happened to me too, bro."
Yeah.
The end. And then she could have came back and haunted him.
I really hope that there's some actual point to all of this, like a twist.
The Brujo is gonna come back as like a Force ghost.
A Force ghost.
I think the Pablo getting the amulet thing at the end was the symbol.
It's gonna unleash Pablo's powers.
Well, I was gonna say he's a Brujo.
Wait, you think he's gonna?
Making.
Okay, see, like that's not the way I took that at all. I almost took that as like foreshadowing of like exactly what happened in Evil Dead 2, where Pablo was gonna get fucking infected with Deadite shit. And that thing was gonna bring him back like Ash's like little fucking like mirror medallion or whatever.
It could
like,
be, but
the second movie.
Like I thought of that as
he kept saying, or the whole 2 episodes, he kept saying shit like,
I should have been one.
I shouldn't have turned my back on my heritage, and I should have listened to you and stuff like that.
He talks all weird and big and epic about everything.
I ignored my calling, which means that he has some sort of ability to do what the Brujo is.
You're probably right.
Well,
when
I was
think
half
about
expecting also when he mentioned like the heat of the thing when he picked it up that somebody else was gonna touch it and be like, "That's not hot at all. What are you fucking talking about?"
Oh, that would have been clever too.
I thought he would have just put it on right then and there.
If they did it,
he did.
But that would have been clever. No, he was like touching it. He's like,
that's when he picked it up first. But once he got into the,
I didn't see him turn it.
I didn't.
Turn it on. I didn't see him put it on, but like maybe.
I don't know. This episode these two just didn't really do it for me personally. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that they could have done.
The only part I liked was Jacksonville and the acid trip shit.
Yeah.
But the psilocybin.
This is the thing. It really pushed, it really told us a backstory a little bit on Ash, and it also gave us a backstory for the character that we've all been wondering about, which was Lucy Lawless's character. And then
I will say I didn't catch that part. Yeah, like where you said like they cut off the Deadite's head right before it could say she wasn't somebody.
Yeah,
that's notable. You're right. That is important. Okay.
I'm disappointed, like in the way that they're using Lucy Lawless.
Exactly,
honestly, because
that's
she's like a fantastic actress.
For a total of like
5 minutes.
Now,
yeah, the whole show.
Fantastic.
I feel like
actress is very. I don't know.
Did you see her in?
It's not that she
compared to some of the others in the show.
Did you see her in Spartacus?
She's got serious acting chops.
Did you see her in Spartacus?
I don't think she really has.
Watch Spartacus.
Did you see her in Parks and Rec?
Yes,
Ron
I did.
Swanson's love interest. She's wonderful.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't think any of those acting jobs are wonderful. I haven't seen Spartacus.
I saw up until he died in real life.
Well, I mean, she's passable, but just
not
Spartacus.
Oh yeah. That's sad.
I didn't like the new guy at all.
Yeah, I didn't either. I had to stop watching.
Same.
I had to stop watching. But that's not their fault.
The mummy guy's an asshole in it.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about Fargo, I guess.
Episode 7 starts off with an awesome assassination sequence in the Kansas City home office. I'm guessing.
I felt that it was kind of cheesy, though.
I thought it was hella predictable.
It was super predictable, but it was still greatly filmed.
I was like, why did you do that like that?
Wait, what do you mean?
It doesn't seem like anything Bear would do.
Oh no! Wait. Okay, that was Bear.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was questioning whether or not that was Bear. I saw a dude.
That
with
was
a
Bear
beard.
and the New York guy.
Okay, the guy with the weird fucking glasses for the rest of the episode. Okay. See, I thought that was him. Where did that guy come from, by the way?
He came from New York to help.
Yeah.
Okay, he came from New York to help. Did they contact him in the last episode?
Yeah, they explain it. Like he's talking to the mom, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down here to help." Like, blah blah.
They did. He's like, "It's okay. I don't mind being here. I've never seen a fucking chicken before."
I kind of like that guy. I kind of like that guy, by the way. He's a little interesting because he's obviously willing to kill people. Like he's like a GTA character. I feel like where he's like. He's willing to do these horrible, fucked up things, but he's also just like a normal, stupid motherfucker. You know? Like,
he's like an Italian. I don't know how he's related.
And then right after they show that shit, holy fuck, the murder war begins, and it's just like fucking Kansas City versus the Gearharts. We're gonna see like a few, like at least like what 5-6 bodies pile up before like the first 2-3 minutes is up.
Also, at the same time, we're seeing the funeral for Grandpa Otto.
Yeah.
And
Rye.
Yeah.
At the same time, where the mom is basically bearing
Which
nothing
I thought
for Rye
was an interesting,
Grandma.
Was an interesting contrast because Grandpa is obviously the oldest and Rye was the youngest in the family. So it was like
two
different ends of the spectrum of their family were both being laid in the ground.
Huh? I wish they would have shown the grandpa getting shot.
Yeah, they didn't show it.
They did actually show his face, like when the shots. Well, no, when the shots are going through the house, you see him for a second, And he's just like kind of looking distressed and stressed out like he was, but like it didn't show a bullet or anything.
When they showed the coffin, but they hadn't shown the headstone yet. They were putting that like white, like cloth down on top of it. I thought it was like a gown, and I thought it was gonna be the maid lady that got shot.
Well, I thought first too until I saw the headstone.
Yeah, because they didn't show Otto and Riot first, and so when when Jean Smart was like laying down on like crying on top of the coffin. I almost thought for a second it was the dude that had just gotten strangled by the leftover kitchen brother. Like, because they'd just shown, like, the Milligan troop, like, counteract to their killings,
Mulligan.
right? Mulligan?
Mulligan.
Is it Mike Mulligan or Mike Milligan?
Mike Mulligan. Mulligan as in, like, you got
Mulligan. You fucked up your golf shot. We're going to Mulligan it. Okay. Well, I thought she was crying over the grave of the greasier guy that just got the piano wire, though. Like, I was confused for, like, just a split second before they showed the gravestones. Then fucking Dawes' daughter just being fucking ridiculously stupid, like, over and over again, just going to Mike Mulligan, like...
Didn't see that. I mean, like, I saw it coming, but I didn't think that it would go the way it did.
Dude, I've been waiting... See, I don't know why she went back, because, like, I would have assumed...
They shot the shit out of her.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I would have assumed if I was her that, like, they were trying to kill her, too, when they were blown.
She still thinks she has some relationship with him.
Not only that, but she also has contempt for her own family. She's an outsider compared to the rest of them. Like, they don't let her in, and they showed that in this episode when Jean Smart was, like, turned and talking to Bear.
What, so she's kind of like Rye, then?
No, she's like Dodd.
No, because the
she's
like
worse
the whole
than all of them.
No, the whole family like kept Rye out too, because like he was kind of like the useless fucking rental litter.
I guess
and
she's
so
like
is that
the
what
new Rye then, because Rye's gone, so they're kind of.
Well, that's the problem. They're the youngest, so they're
exactly
definitely.
I was gonna say there's like a whole like ageism thing that's happening.
I think this goes back to also like the Gearharts fucking like getting way too comfortable with their position, like what I was saying last week about how like. Basically, they've been in power in that region for so long that they haven't had to actually, like, stand up and do anything. And so, like, basically, the children of the person that was in charge have gotten really fucking, like, lame, basically.
I also feel like Simone has a connection with Mike Mulligan that she's never experienced with anyone.
Is that
in
her name? Simone? Okay.
And Pumbaa.
That she's never experienced with anyone in her family. So he's almost more like family to her than anyone that she actually knows. And that's why she trusts him.
Because he tricked her.
Mike Milligan's the fucking the serpent, yo.
She's obsessed with the D.
It has
more to do with drugs.
Maybe the drugs, but like, dude, Mike Mulligan's got a charm to him that is all fucking different than like what he actually gets paid to do. Because like. His fucking profession is hired killer, but his fucking like his what he does is he is a philosopher. That man fucking super analyzes like what it is to be alive.
But is it me? Is it just me, or does anyone else get annoyed with his inflections sometimes?
Nah, dude, I actually love Mike Mulligan's inflections.
Because sometimes people need to talk like this.
Nah, I like Mike Mulligan.
I don't care for that.
I think it's supposed to be like he's sort of mentally unstable.
Maybe.
And
I took it as a regional thing.
I think you're right. I think you're hitting on it.
Stands out.
I kind of take him as like his inflections kind of remind me of fucking Christian Bale's inflections in fucking American Psycho, where it's like a sociopath looking at society and
he knows what he wants to do and he knows the rules of normal society, but he basically just chooses to like do what he wants.
Yeah, he knows,
and he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he just doesn't care.
Yeah, also like what he said, like dude, almost like the way he described everything was basically gravity. Everything happens because of gravity, because basically history fucking makes things move forward. There is the past, and then there is the present, and then there is the future. Manifest Destiny?
No. It's all like the past can't become the future in the same way that the future can't become the past. And that's not true, because the future becomes the past all the time.
Oh,
well, he also said
funny.
Every second, the future.
He also said
It is, but it isn't.
He also said
it is, but it isn't.
a resolution is an end to it, is a
Revolution.
change.
Revolution.
Oh, revolution is a change.
No,
right?
it's
in our world, in real life,
it's something making a full
circle,
back
right?
to where it began.
But on Earth, it's a change.
Change. Yeah.
But how does that make any sense? He said. So it's the same kind of thing as
he's saying that it is.
why-
It's a big contradiction.
That's
Yeah.
something I've asked since I understood the meaning of the word revolution and how it was used for like countries have revolutions all the time, and I'm just like, but that just means it's back to where it started. So how does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense in the way that you are breaking down what you see that doesn't work.
Yeah, but
and you're
revolution,
saying start over.
It's revolved back to where it was.
Well, everything is
like,
cyclical.
Yeah, but then how is it a change?
That's the human condition is craving.
I think I think that the reasoning behind that is that even though you have come back to the beginning, that is how you notice a change, is by fucking going around the full way and then coming back to your starting point and then looking at it with new fresh eyes
Or
that
doing it
have gone
different.
the distance, and so you realize that something has changed and that something might not even be anything other than you. Like, I think that's what it is.
It just doesn't make sense.
It also just kind of means that everything goes in circles no matter what.
Yeah,
so
like
everything's going to
revolution.
change no matter what.
Like, we're gonna have a revolution. Like that implies
Yeah.
we're just
Eventually, someone
turn
else.
things back to the
Someone's
way they
going to
were.
get. Yeah, exactly. Someone's going to get pissed off about the new change. and
But
then-
no, I
Yeah.
do think
So you
I
change
do
it.
think that change and staying the same are one and the same sometimes. Fucking
Can I bring up something
yeah.
that's related but slightly off topic?
Okay.
Did you guys know that Virginia Woolf wrote a story called Mike
Who's Virginia Woolf?
Virginia Woolf is a
She's a
famous
writer.
author.
Famous author who wrote.
Well, she wrote Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel. So,
You probably stole the name.
stole the name, or because
But
the
who
story
the
was
fuck
published
is
in 1939.
What does she have?
It could have just been a reference, is all I'm saying, from the writers to create a
what?
character with that name.
They used the Marvel method, they used the Marvel method to make character because usually the
Has
first
anybody
letter and the
noticed-
last
has
name letters.
Has anybody noticed, like, kind of like almost like it feels like the whole show so far, like the 70s version of Fargo, has been slight jabs at the feminist movement. By the way,
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
a lot
it's
of-
it is with Peggy in particular.
well, no, I
Yeah.
was gonna
Peggy
say.
and the hairdresser lady.
Well, no, Peggy, the hairdresser lady,
The
and
mom.
fucking
the daughter.
yeah, the daughter.
God's daughter.
Simone.
Yeah, Simone.
Simone
Where
Beauvoir.
it's like all these women talking about like how fucking much that they need to just be women and fucking like
Well,
kind of no, straight
think
up. They're
think
like
about-
saying stuff like
even-
that though.
okay,
Like
Simone becomes
we're
a
a
feminist
strong
in
woman
the-
and we don't
in
have
the
to.
elevator.
Take away the
and
take away the feminist part, and just that was the time frame back when like civil rights were actually becoming an issue, and women were just as much affected by civil rights issues as black
Point
people
being,
were.
point being though is
Yeah.
no. The point being though is like, have you noticed that every fucking person that's talking about like fucking realizing their femininity or fucking taking hold of that automatically fucking makes some stupid ass fucking decisions like directly
what
after
do any
that?
of the guys in the show do when they're like, "I'm gonna take charge"? They make
They
a
make
stupid
stupid
fucking decision
decisions
too.
too.
Yeah, but they're not talking about fucking men taking dominion over fucking females, but females are talking about fucking
Because
like,
that's what it means
oh,
to
taking
them.
a feminine.
Taking
Yeah, that's what I'm
control
saying
And
over
that
though.
was the
For men,
political
it's-
climate
they-
of
I'm,
the
I'm,
time.
I'm not
Shit.
saying that not everybody in the show is fucking stupid in their own fucking special way. All I'm saying is that the feminists in the show, like, it's almost directly after they fucking make their little statements about whatever they're fucking like going against, that they fucking like basically eat shit hard. And like
Well-
fucking either die or almost die or fucking like have set themselves up to die. Like
That was the political climate in which the show takes place, though. Like, they're including that. They're not excluding it. They're
Yeah,
seeing,
I
they're
like
just
it. For
taking
just
that
a
and
second-
putting their characters in it.
For just a little bit there, after it showed Simone throwing the belt buckle in, I thought she was gonna get serious and actually try and be a part of the family. And so
Yeah.
I thought she
take
was
charge.
too.
Which
when
is what
she
I
said-
wanted.
When
Yeah, I
she
would've
said
much
to
preferred
Jean
that.
I
Smart,
guess that,
like, I'm not
yeah.
a child, like, I
Yeah.
can hear
I
things.
thought she was gonna definitely
Like-
take a role in it.
Yeah, I thought she was
Instead
going
of
to be like,
just,
please
"No."
include me on the family things. And
That's
then, like,
fucking
no,
child.
she just
It's-
fucking went off and did
Yeah.
her own thing.
She
Yeah.
went.
It's
She went
definitely-
and did a fucking like little blow
No, she
capsule
threw a
no,
in
she
the
threw a
fucking parking
tantrum.
lot and went
It's
to
one of
talk
those-
to Mike Mulligan.
It's
again.
one of those experiences that you have that's a life-changing experience where you change forever. But it seemed like she just kind of ran back to what she already
She
knew.
was mad that Mulligan didn't listen to her.
Yeah.
That's what it all
So
came
she
down
went
to.
back to him, and then she decided that she didn't want to lay down for any man anymore, and then she ended up kneeling down on her knees for her brother.
Well, and
for
she's
her
also
uncle.
mad that her dad is not dead. Like that's what
We don't know
she-
that yet.
Well, I mean, we don't know
He's
that
in a
he,
trunk.
whether or not he's
I don't
dead.
think
But
he's
from her
dead.
perspective in
I
the
don't think he's
show,
dead.
she doesn't think that he's dead, and she's mad at Mike Mulligan
We
for
don't even-
not taking care of that.
We don't
What
even
was-
know she's dead. to
What
be
was his
honest.
name? What's
But-
the Indian
No,
guy's
we
name?
don't because
There was
they
no
did
gunshot.
not show that.
And also, one other thing: if she is dead and they do find her body and stuff, Bear fucking left his cast there.
Yes, he
at the
did.
scene.
Yes,
so
he did.
They're gonna be able to tell that he did it.
And
Or
his
at
big
least
old
Dodd did.
footprints in the snow.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if anybody,
Yeah,
like,
they're definitely gonna be able to tell.
Tire
Dude, no,
tracks.
okay. If
all of that.
I mean, we're kind of skipping a little part. Like, I do have a question to ask real quick, but we'll come back to that. How did the cops know
About what?
about Mike Mulligan at the Black? Is it the Black Pearl or the Pearl Harbor?
I
the name of that
I can't
hotel.
remember.
I thought it was just the Pearl.
It's just the pearl.
I thought it was the Black Pearl.
Either way, I'm pretty sure they followed the
Blue
daughter from their house.
Because they showed up right after she did.
Yeah.
Okay, so they followed her from the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure
because
that's
I
what
was
they
just like, dude, like nobody
How did they
told
know?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody told them
Pretty sure
they were
they
there.
followed her there and were listening through the door.
And dude,
or
they didn't
something.
even. They just fucking broke in. Like they illegally broke in almost.
If
it
they
seemed like.
hear a girl screaming, you're a cop on the other side of the
Yeah.
door. You have
Oh, that's
you
true.
can
She did
dress
scream.
in.
She
Yeah.
did scream.
Even if she didn't, they have reasonable suspicion
Exactly.
to enter their premises, and it's not like it's their home. That's
It's
a
also a
fucking
hotel.
hotel
Justifiable
room that they're
cause.
renting.
Yeah, they can kick the door in if they
Like,
suspect something.
literally,
like
all
that.
they have to do is get the hotel's permission to
It's
enter.
it's like not even a working hotel. It's
Yeah.
like in construction.
It looked like it was like kind of like abandoned.
Okay.
It was under construction.
What was it that you wanted to get back at? Since you said we skipped a part.
Well, I can't remember now.
Well, we went
Liquor.
right from the funeral, and that's where she
no,
went.
it
She
had
went from
it
the
had to do
funeral.
with Bear, I think.
We got to the part where she died.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you also notice that, like, when Bear was going back to the car after he shot her, like, at first I thought it was cycling through the people that were there until it showed her, and then it was basically showing, like, Bear's chronology of who he was thinking of after he had done it.
Yeah, it was.
Because,
Yes.
like, at
It
first
was
I
showing
all-
the family as the way it was.
Yeah, at first you saw Dodd in that kitchen, and I was just like, uh-oh. Did Dodd just get
Yeah,
back? Like,
did Dodd
right
get out?
after his fucking, like, daughter just got capped?
Then you
But
see Rye.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
and
that's
you know
what
he's
thinking
dead.
after that, or he's like, because he's like, this isn't a family anymore.
Well, you saw Rye, and then you saw the daughter that he just supposedly killed.
That was him grieving over everything that he just lost.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
things are going to change after
thinking
this.
about
Yeah.
his family
Two
in general.
brothers and a family.
Did you
Yeah.
also notice that he didn't have any blood on him whatsoever?
Well, she was kind of far away from him. She
Yeah,
shot
I'm like,
her,
I
she
don't
shot
know. I don't know, man. Like, I
That's
think
one of the
he actually
problems
did
with
kill her.
Lots of movies and stuff.
They don't even stick to realism like
Well,
that.
they don't do ballistics for like blood
I'm just
spatter,
saying.
right?
I'm just saying. Like,
Like when you see
that
someone
could
get
have been a
shot
clue.
and then
that
blood
he
comes
just
out the back
left
of
her
their
out
head,
there.
but a bullet doesn't.
Could have. I don't know. I don't think he.
It didn't show the shot. It didn't show her dying or anything like that. It just showed him
That's what I
walking
said.
back
We
to the
don't know.
car.
He would have had to bury
So
her
we
too.
don't
He couldn't
know.
just leave her out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And
That's
he
why.
didn't
fucking
That's
have
why
a
he walked her
shovel.
far
It
enough
took-
into the woods.
It took me back
Would
to
need to bury her.
Sopranos when
Yeah.
when they took out Christopher's girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah,
after
you're right.
Christopher
Took
sat
her
on
out.
her fucking
Took her
dog.
out. Took her out to the Pine Barrens. Had to take a
That was
piss and
fucked
shot
up.
the shit
It
out
was
of her.
so fucked up.
One of my cousins killed his fucking, or one of my uncles killed a cat like that. But
He was like a
he,
little-
The
Oh, fucking-
podcast
always sat on
doesn't
the
need to know
Maltese.
about your
Yeah,
uncle
he was a
killing
little
cats.
kid. The fucking cat was inside of a fucking cardboard box that he had fallen through, and my uncle was like 6 years old and not all fucked up on heroin. So yeah, it's a little different.
Wait, your
He's
uncle?
not-
Your uncle
Not-
was 6 and he
not-
fucked up on heroin and then he
not-
fell through
that
a car.
correctly.
Yeah.
No, I said not. But
yeah,
like,
but it was
It
too
didn't
quickly.
sound right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
added the heroin in there.
okay. But yeah,
Damn.
my uncle did also murder a fucking pet like that on accident.
And several women.
No,
that we don't know
my uncle's
about.
awesome. He did not murder women.
You don't know.
Okay.
So Bear, he
No.
he really doesn't give a shit about his brother, even though they found out that he's still alive.
You heard what he said about him.
Yeah, he said, "I don't want any more. We don't need any more crazy than we already
you heard
have
what the
here."
mom said about him too, dude. Dodd is like a fucking sociopath.
Yeah,
He
but
is
she also
somebody-
said, "Go find him."
Yeah. Well, she loves him because she fucking like shat him out. But like, fucking, you know what I'm saying though? Like, she recognizes him for the fucking like emotionless human being that he is. Where that guy like legitimately gets off on fucking sadist shit.
But here's
dude.
the thing: now that the family is even more broken,
Like, what happened?
Bear needs Dodd.
No.
He does.
No.
He does.
No, dude, I have the feeling if Dodd comes back, because I don't think he is, but if Dodd comes back, I feel like Bear might be the one to kill himself. And also, I think the Indian might be dead.
No, because he shot 2 cops.
Yeah, but the Indian directly was going after Ed. Like, he was on his trail. Like, fucking, unless he is standing behind him watching him make all these phone calls.
Yeah.
Like,
Full episode
because
Spoiler alert.
No, because Ed.
Spoiler alert!
Ed,
I already saw. Spoiler alert! I already saw the previews for the next episode, and he was in it.
What, the Indian?
Yeah, he might be dead.
Yeah, but they might be showing what happened to the
Yeah,
Indian.
it might be. It might be a
because-
thing before the phone call, but
Yeah, because I'm like, Ed Bloomquist was
it's gonna be Ed versus
calling...
the Indian.
What?
It's gonna be Ed versus the Indian.
Wait, why?
It's gonna be the Indian in the cupboard
Because he's chasing him.
because he's chasing him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but like
Exactly.
he was like he was really close. Why didn't we find him? You think he's still
Well, he's
watching?
he goes to that gas station and he's like, "Got any weird people around here?" And he says, "Oh, you're talking about the guy."
No.
that
I'm
goes to
talking
the
about
phone?"
from the point where we saw him in the last episode, where fucking the Indian or Ed had just run off like down the road to
Into
the
the-
left direction,
yeah,
and then
into
fucking
the nowhere.
the Indian fucking walked up, looked right, looked left, and then followed after Ed.
He's a tracker.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah,
like literally though like a good like maybe minute behind him, right? That's usually how they track
the
it.
thing is he's got to find not only Ed but the wife.
Yeah, but Ed obviously has
And
had
Dodd.
time to fucking steal a new car, fucking put Dodd into the back of it, fucking probably collect Peggy in the meantime, fucking like Ed did all this other shit. So I'm thinking either he killed the Indian or the Indian is just watching from afar. And waiting for him to make his move, you know.
I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure the Indian's still alive.
You think he's
Virgil.
You think he's just still watching then?
You know what I just thought
He
of?
might be like a step behind. him.
Maybe whose car, that Cadillac that Ed's driving,
Yeah.
is that the lesbian feminist that owns the fucking
I didn't actually notice it as
salon car?
anybody's
I've never seen
car.
that car
I'd
before.
never seen it either.
She
It was-
probably goes to her.
No, it was just the new car. That's what I took it
Didn't
as.
look new to me.
No,
That
I
could've
mean,
been
new
the
in
feminist
reference.
lady's
I mean,
car.
new in reference to the show, not like
Oh,
new in general.
But I thought that Peggy and her
Yeah, I
drove up
never-
in it because she got a ride home from
I
Peggy.
did. I didn't.
He might have.
I
but
don't remember that, but yeah,
I don't know.
it's possible.
I don't recall,
Okay, wait.
like-
Let's talk about how fucking crazy the Undertaker getting capped was. Real quick.
That was so such a like a dud. Like
No,
we're
it
like,
was
here,
awesome.
Here comes
It
the
was
Undertaker,
awesome.
and then this guy gets in the elevator, and we're like, oh shit, here comes the Undertaker, and then Mike Mulligan just
You
takes
know
him
how
out,
serious that
all
was?
fucking
You know how
Taxi
serious it
Driver
was?
style.
It was so serious that Mike Mulligan had to shoot him the second he saw him. That's how serious it was. I don't think that was a dud. I think it was just cool seeing Mike Mulligan fucking react and be on the fucking mark. And
That's the first
super
time he
fast.
got blood on his hands.
Dude, and was it me or did those two Asian dudes like look like they were fucking mad at him? Like they were just like, what?
Well, yeah, he was.
I have
able
to
clean
push
up-
your button again? Like just fucking like just sick of putting up with the Undertaker. And
Oh yeah.
but anyway, like he
I
got
don't know.
shot.
He
Well,
wasn't
Mike
my
Mulligan's
Undertaker.
gonna have to leave the hotel now because he fucking dirtied up his room with fucking blood and brains everywhere.
Yeah,
He was gonna
can't
kill
just
a
sit
bitch in
there
there
and
He's
anyway.
not gonna be able to just hang out at that hotel room
stare at
anymore.
shit anymore.
But how did Ed Bloomquist get the phone number?
Yes, that's another question I had. Yeah,
From
Mike
Dodd.
Mulligan's
From
room.
Dodd.
yeah, but what? Like how?
How?
How did Dodd know?
Why
Mike?
would Dodd give that information?
How
They're
would-
sitting there fucking.
How
would he even
with
have
the
the
fucking
number?
cattle prod?
How
How
did,
would
yeah,
he
how
even
did,
have
how
the
did he
number?
have Dodd's Mike? Or how did Dodd have Mike Milligan's number?
Hotel
Mike
room
Mulligan's
number.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
There's no reason
they obviously
behind that.
know something else that's going on because Bear.
Because why would they contact Mike
This is
Mulligan
where
in the
it's-
first place?
this is
Bear
where it
knew
gets
that
funny.
she
Wait.
was- Bear knew that she was sleeping with the enemy.
Yep.
He
Yeah.
went to the hotel to pick her up, which means that they could possibly have known.
Well, they
the
followed
ene-
her
The
because
enemy was at the hotel.
the Italian guy said he'd follow her.
But he was in the car with Bear.
I know they probably came later.
Yeah, they were following together. I think.
No, he went off on his own to say that he's gonna go get her, and then she drives off. And he says,
called
"I'll take
Bear?
care of this," and then he
That's
followed.
right.
Yeah,
he
and then
did
he
say
called.
that.
So what my opinion is Ed Bloomquist. This is off the cuff. He might be a secret agent, double agent, like a sleeper agent.
He
like,
really is
like-
the butcher
like-
of?
The mom
Yes,
said.
just like the mom said. She's like those Russians. They'll just flip on a
Sleeper
switch.
agent.
Dude, you know, like, I never thought
got an
about it. I
informant in
never
every
thought
town.
about it until you just said that. But
Because
like,
in the beginning, I
no.
told you he motherfucker kills like a killer.
No, but all of the fucking, like, reasoning
So
behind
basically-
what he has done, like, whenever anybody asks him, like, what were you doing like that? He always just kind of, like, stutter steps and never has a good real reason.
So basically,
Like-
a history of violence.
Dude, no.
Viggo Mortensen.
I think you might actually be right on
Yeah.
this one.
Because in the beginning, when he first started killing people, like when he killed Ryan, then he killed the next
Yeah,
guy.
no,
I was like,
it's
I was like,
always,
man, this guy,
hardcore stabbing.
yeah, this guy
And-
knows how to kill people.
Yeah.
Like he's not, and he wasn't even in the war, but he knows how to
We'll
kill
just put
people.
it this way: it's not that hard to kill people.
No,
Yeah.
but
No, I
no,
bet-
but here's
I-
the thing:
I-
his character is not like his character with his wife doesn't seem like that kind of person.
I bet he
Yeah, but
fell
see,
in. No, if
He's
you're right,
protecting the wife.
if you're right,
It's a protection instinct.
if you're
It's
right,
not-
I bet it's like he was a sleeper agent, but he fell in love with Peggy, so he tried to make the American dream work.
Well, he wouldn't be a
Everybody's-
sleeper. He's
everybody's
not a
known
sleeper
him.
agent.
No, I bet
he's
he
not
actually.
a real sleeper,
I bet he
sleeper
actually.
agent.
I bet
where
he
he's
actually
like,
is a real sleeper
well,
agent.
no, I don't
but
mean
he
like.
never woke up.
I don't mean to the extent where like I don't know what I am until someone tells me a
No,
secret phrase.
I didn't.
But like I mean like he's the kind of guy that's like, yeah, I'm a plant here.
A
I'm
Manchurian
supposed to
candidate,
watch people.
A Manchurian candidate is not a fucking sleeper agent.
Everybody there has known him his entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Though.
That's the best kind of person.
He
I
was
mean,
never in the armed services.
A
So
Manchurian
when would
candidate.
he have been programmed?
A Manchurian candidate is not a sleeper agent. A sleeper agent is somebody that is sent in at a fucking time where they might not be noticed, and they're supposed to take up a normal fucking like job or like agency, and then fucking just basically report information back. Like, dude, Ed actually seems like right up that alley.
Yeah,
Like-
that's what
like-
I've been saying since the beginning.
Like and
he's weird.
the
He's like-
fact that he
something's weird
can't
about
throw
him.
down when he's supposed to throw down is a little weird. I think that would be actually a really good Coen Brothers twist where he was never meant. Like, I think that he made the decision, like, if this is the case, he made the decision between his mission and Peggy. And fucking he decided to be in love with Peggy. And like, he thought he left that world behind him. But then the fucking Gearhearts fucking catch up to him.
My question, though, for that, though, if we're proposing that, is when did he become, like, a secret agent? Because everybody in that town has known him his whole life. He's never...
Not his whole life.
Yes, his whole
No,
life.
they've known
and
him
he's-
since he started working at the butcher's place.
No, they've
Ted
known him
Danson
his
said I've
whole
known him
life.
since he's in diapers.
Yeah.
Did he
And
say
he's
that?
never
Yeah.
left the
Okay.
town. He's never gone anywhere
Well, I
outside
didn't
where
hear
they
him.
live.
I didn't hear him say anything about diapers.
He was saying it to
And you
her
can always
when
get-
she suggested that he was.
And the real question,
killer.
I guess, is who Ed's parents are. Like, in that case, like, you can always
Well,
be
because the
programmed.
definition
Peggy
of a
was-
sleeper agent is
that
a
house,
secret agent.
He was born in that house. Like they were saying that his mom and dad like.
Yeah, but where did his parents come from?
yeah, but
Perhaps
There.
Russia. You don't know that.
They're not Russians though.
Yeah. You don't know that.
But that's the thing. I think like there's something weird about him. Motherfucker can kill like a real killer.
He also works in
I
a
do
butcher
think
shop.
that would be
Yeah.
clever. No, but like that doesn't teach you to stab human beings.
It
like,
doesn't teach you to stab
Teaches you
human
to
beings,
think of
but it
something as
teaches
meat.
you to think of things as meat.
Well,
yes.
okay.
You also know
Anyway,
where all the vital points are. You know,
Yes.
like
It just seems
touchdown.
weird. Is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
I think that would be a good plot twist if Ed was actually like, and Peggy didn't even know,
Or if
and
not
he'd been
that,
living there.
he's taking on this persona because they said, "You never heard of me? I'm the butcher of blah blah blah."
No, that's
Well,
him just living up to the fucking like.
Yeah, but how did he hear about it?
Dodd.
That's Dodd.
Dodd.
That's Dodd.
My question.
Well, why would Dodd tell him that?
Because Dodd's fucking
I
in
bet-
a trunk.
no, I
like
bet
Dodd
fucking-
made that shit up so that he can get his so he can get Rye.
Well, no. Also,
Unless that was
no,
real and the
no,
Indian didn't
also,
get good
Remember,
information.
also at this point, like if his lie about the fucking butcher of Laverne is revealed, then the mom no longer gives a shit about Dodd. because he
Yes.
lied about Rye's death.
Yes.
So he has to stick to that fucking lie, and the fact that somebody else is sticking to it just works out in Dodd's benefit.
Well, it's kind of like that thing where everybody starts believing one thing and then it becomes that way.
Yeah, but Dodd has a real fucking stake in that being believed, is all. Because if that isn't the case, then the mom fucking turns her guns on him, and she still has the main power over the gang.
Except she's
aside
an
from
informant
the
now.
Indian. No, aside from the Indian. Like, the Indian is, I guess, just Dodd's man.
Well,
For whatever reason.
My question
They
is
must have
this:
been
did we
warned,
actually even see Kirsten Dunst in the
No.
car?
No.
We didn't see her at all this episode,
Nope.
but Ed Bloomquist or whatever his name is,
He's doing that.
You know
like,
why she's out of the lecture in
he
Sioux
said that
Falls.
he had
Yeah.
Dodd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that he could get Dodd was to return to that house where Kirsten Dunst had him like shocked, right, with the cattle prod thing.
Next episode, we probably see all that.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hope
thinking
so,
we're gonna see a
because
flashback.
like that seems
It's a
kind of
Peggy-centric
it
one.
seemed kind of disjointed in the way that it's like, okay, well, how did Ed get to having Dodd in his possession?
I have some weird
and the
feeling.
and the phone number to Mike Mulligan, right?
I have
'Cause
some
that's a question. How
Mike
did he get
Mulligan's
that?
number is the question, actually, like the good one for Ed. I feel like there's gonna just be like some quick flashback where like Ed goes to the house, fucking meets Peggy with fucking Dodd's like unconscious body, and Peggy's just so like goes to her like stupid fucking like out of conscious, out of reality mind frame and is like, well, I have to leave though. I have to go to Sioux Falls. I have to go to the women thing. And Ed's all like, but we got Dodd in a trunk right here. And she's like, yeah, but I gotta do this. And then she just
watch him for
disappears.
me.
If
Yeah, she
anything-
just disappears.
Here's
and
a phone
fucking-
number to call.
And he's just like, okay. And he's left with the fucking mess on his
What
hands.
if
Well, I
she's the
was
one that's
thinking-
created all this
Well,
trouble?
I was thinking like, what if like, okay, maybe not like, oh, I have to go to Sioux Falls for this like conference thing. More like, we need to get out of town. Where are we gonna go?
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
No,
Right?
she is. She's fucking going
That's
no matter
that's
what.
her magnet right there, Sioux Falls. And,
Sioux Falls
and
represents
Ed is gonna follow
everything
her anywhere.
new and fucking beautiful, and like that's her new life.
And
Sioux
Ed
Falls
is obsessed with her and wanting to make their family work, and so he will follow her. And he's obviously her protector.
I think he might stay behind just so her Sioux Falls thing can work by herself. I think he's gonna try to do an operation back in Fargo or where did they came from? Where did they come from?
It's like Laverne.
Laverne. Yeah, I think like he's gonna try and keep them away from where she's going.
See,
but
I think it'll be
that
an
he's gonna.
exchange at Sioux Falls. He'll bring Dodd to Sioux Falls and tell Mike Mulligan, "You need to meet me here."
No, I think they're gonna end up
And
killing. I
they'll-
think they're gonna end up killing Ed, but in the process, they're gonna find out that it was actually Peggy and go after her. Like I think it's gonna go from Ed, and they're gonna realize that Ed wasn't the actual target, and then they're gonna move to Peggy. But let's talk about the big thing. For
Ted's
me,
bedroom.
yeah,
Ted's bedroom.
Ted
Yeah.
Danson's
I
fucking.
was about
what
to cut
the
in with that.
fuck, dude?
I was about to cut in with that and be
What the
like,
fuck
okay,
with Ted
let's talk about
Danson-
Ted's
Ted
bedroom.
Danson-
Ted's
Ted
Rooms.
Danson's house. Okay, real quick though, like let's say like that one scene with fucking Ron Swanson,
Yeah.
Nick Offerman, and Ted Danson's daughter, very heartfelt. Man, that's almost the way you feel with somebody that's
actually
dying too. Like
Yeah.
like really just like there's nothing you can even fucking say, and you just kind of like have like, but you're your most honest with those people, and you can't even be the persona that you usually put on with the world. Like you just fucking accept like their reality. But anyway, to Ted Danson, fucking runes, dude. What is going on with
Yeah,
that?
those markings look just like runes, the kind of runes that Nordic people would use
Yep.
for like fortune telling or writing.
Yeah.
So why do you think that he did that?
I think he's tracking aliens.
Okay, see, I think it has to do with his daughter's cancer. I think he's looking for alternative methods outside of medicine. And I think that the runes are something that he looked into, like fucking religious-wise. But I also think that the aliens are tied to those runes.
Well, it looks just
I don't
like,
think that he necessarily was looking for alien stuff, but I think that alien stuff
What is-
came there because of what he's doing.
what are those things called? Crop
Crop circles?
crop. Yeah, it kind of looks like crop circle writing.
It kind of does, but like...
circles are generally just like geometric shapes.
I think he was trying
Right.
to summon gods, though, and I bet fucking aliens showed
His
up.
whole, it was like he was investigating something.
I think he's trying to save his daughter.
I think he's trying to figure out what the fuck he saw, these alien things.
It could,
and it might have to do with the fact it might have.
It could be as simple as that's his hobby, and he's trying
maybe.
to learn like a language.
Yeah, well,
that'd be funny too.
It's kind of an obsessive hobby.
The one specific one that I had time to actually read, and it was, I can't remember what the symbol looked like.
One
now.
said child.
One said child, but then another one said angry conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that.
I looked at it in two ways. One, the Gerhardts, probably Irish.
They're Germans.
Are they German?
Yeah, which is Nordic, which is runes.
Which is runes. Yeah. Secondly,
that's like up and beyond the fucking level of investigation, though.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like it's like it could provide a deeper understanding into their family. In a way,
North Dakotan
you never know.
mafia, though.
They don't seem. I mean, until she said Shiza, it didn't really seem like she was so Germanish.
Okay, but the other way I looked at it was this could be a show of mental illness because of the stress that he's under, not only with what's going on in the town, but also with his daughter dying.
I think that's...
It could be a manifestation.
I think that's the logical case. Like, okay, there's... Like, basically when the daughter walked in, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that's what's going through her mind. Like, it's not like, oh my god, he's into something that might be, like, otherworldly and might actually be happening. No, like, in her head, she's like, oh my god, instantly, what the fuck is wrong with my dad, right?
I thought it was like...
She also foreshadowed that he was going to need someone to take care of him very soon.
No,
also,
but I think that's going to be that's going to be the path of the tale of Ted Danson, though, is it's going to fucking do this thing where it's all like, hey, let's make Ted Danson look like a crazy person, but then in the end, it's going to turn out that he wasn't actually crazy, that what he was looking into was actually real, and that basically, like, they didn't pay attention to it enough, or they fucking lost their opportunity because, like, they think that the world that they live in is the real world. They think that it's our world, but it's really a story.
But the episode before this one, it showed her having that little moment with the drawing, with the alien thing that appeared from the coffee stain, and then she kind of like had this moment where she lost track of time, maybe.
Yeah, she literally.
And then we go inside. We go inside Ted Danson's place, and she has another one of those moments where she's like, "Oh," where she was sitting down before, but this time she's standing, and she's kind of like, "Whoa."
Wait, really? She was sitting down?
Yeah.
She was sitting down when she saw the coffee stain.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about.
When she walked in. Yeah, no, she didn't. She
wasn't sitting down.
She stumbled like she was about to fall over. But she stared at the stuff, and it kind of cut off the way that the camera angle went to a Dutch angle, which is where it goes to a tilt to make it seem like it makes you feel like something's weird about what you're looking at.
A bunch of flashes of the runes.
Right.
I really do.
And it also went kind of sideways. That didn't make me think like, oh, my dad's fucking crazy. That made me think like, holy shit, things are starting to come back to me now.
I recognize these from somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not going... I feel personally that like it's kind of like not really even worthwhile because she's going to die soon.
And she might figure out the answer before anyone else doesn't die.
Exactly. She won't tell anyone.
No, I've got that bad.
She won't even have the opportunity because her husband's going to be dealing with fucking crazy ass fucking Gerhardts and.
I've got the feeling actually that like this shit is actually gonna, like Ted Danson's gonna be like, no, I did my research and like this stuff is legit, and everybody's gonna be like, no, you're just fucking crazy actually, and like they're not gonna listen to him, and they're gonna keep fucking going through with it, and like I literally do think that he summoned that shit to try and save his daughter.
I was gonna say,
and like
what
all
if it ends up working?
And well, no, that's the thing is
and
like no, it's not gonna end up working. Like the thing is it was going to end up working. But nobody listened to him. Everybody thought he was fucking crazy. And so they fucking basically don't do anything that he says. And they don't listen to fucking what Ted Danson wants to do. And then in the end, it turns out that the aliens could have fucking probably saved his daughter.
Okay, I didn't watch season 1. Is there alien?
No, there's no alien stuff. There's no alien stuff.
Weird at all. Like,
really?
No, nothing like that.
Is there anything involving runes and some?
No,
nothing.
Movie.
No, dude, this is like the first time the Coen brothers have done anything like this.
Murder, like sort of
it's like their other stuff. It's like their other stuff.
Who wrote Fargo?
The Coen brothers.
So they're just coming back to it and getting weird.
Kinda.
The first one at least is like, hey, let's kind of like take the original idea we had with this, like a dude trying to like kidnap his wife to like fake a kidnapping and get money, and everything goes awry.
Is that their first movie?
Yeah.
No, no. It's Simple Blood. Simple Blood, I think, is their first movie, but that's also about faking a murder, or it's like about a guy or about a girl who's cheating on her husband, with another guy trying to fake her kidnapping to get money.
Sounds like Fargo
to get
stuff.
money out of the. Dude, a Coen Brothers kind of
Blood Simple, by the way.
Blood Simple. What did I say? Simple Blood.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever.
And
The
it was
same
made in
thing.
1984.
Yeah, I think that's their first movie.
It is.
So
but,
season 3 is gonna be really fucking weird.
Yeah, dude, seriously.
Or it's not.
I remember
Maybe.
saying I didn't think that season 3 was gonna happen last week, and like
The fame
I
of
was
it-
like, I don't think Coen Brothers are after fucking money, and like
Wrongo.
no, that doesn't make me wrong.
El wrong, El
That
Jefe.
doesn't make me wrong.
You were wrong though.
No, that
you said
actually.
you didn't think it would get signed on for
No,
season 3.
I said that the Coen Brothers. I don't think they're in it for money.
You also said you didn't think it was going to get signed on for a season
Not if
3.
it's just for money.
They probably have more story
Exactly.
to tell.
There you go. I think that's what's really going on here is they actually have.
But that's a good
more-
thing.
Yeah.
It also has to do with the fame of it. It's really picked up and it's a really good series.
I was going to say, FX is probably really liking the amount of viewership that they're getting right now.
Oh yeah, they're doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to move on to the leftovers.
All right, well, we just talked about almost everything. So what else is left? We talked about the runes in the room. We talked about the daughter dying. We talked about Mulligan killing the Undertaker and all that stuff. We talked about Ed Bloomquist.
The
What else
daughter
is left?
possibly dying. We don't know for sure.
Right, she might have died. She might have not.
If she didn't, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I hope
Straight
she.
up.
I kind of just want
I
her to be dead
actually
now.
would be really proud of Bear for just leaving her out there and making her have to like figure out how to get home.
I'd be really
like, on
proud
her
of
own.
Bear if he fucking just shot her. And like,
She'll never come home again.
Yeah, no. Here's what I really see happening is better storytelling perspective, at least, is that she's actually dead and Dodd ends up coming back, and then he has to deal with, or Bear has to deal with Dodd. I really want to see fucking Bear kill Dodd. I know we've been calling for Gene Smart to kill Dodd, but I want Bear to fucking kill him. Because Bear's the one that's reserved. Bear's the one that fucking, like, actually seems like he,
Which is
like,
something that we talked about this, and you had said that Bear seems like a pussy.
No. Compared to the gang, I don't think the gang was going to listen to him, but I want to see him take charge
Yeah,
of it.
I said this guy is the most dangerous one. Bear's probably the most dangerous one.
I still don't
mentally.
think he's the most dangerous, but I want him to become the most dangerous. If that makes sense.
He is.
Okay, let's
Okay.
talk about
He definitely
leftovers.
is.
Yeah, because we got a ton to fucking talk about with the leftovers, so let's just move on.
My
to
favorite
that.
episode of the entire series.
Well,
It's
I also want
definitely
to
the
say that like a
craziest.
lot of our predictions and stuff that we talked about last
That we
episode.
were joking about even.
Not even joking.
I
things-
was joking,
No, well,
but-
okay, maybe
Oh yeah,
you were
shit's
joking,
gonna get
but,
weird, guys.
Yeah.
but things that we were saying that we wanted to see
Actually fucking happened.
actually happened. Like, for example,
It
I
was
said
like
that I wanted
wish
to see more of the
fulfillment
Guilty
episode.
Remnant.
Yeah, you did.
There was a lot of Guilty Remnant in this episode.
Wait, a
That
lot?
told- yeah.
yeah,
What
the
was
whole
it-
presidential thing.
The whole Patty Levin, like, president thing with them, like, beating him up and, like, trying to vet him and, like, all of that shit.
I didn't think of that as
And also the
necessarily a guilty
costume.
remnant thing.
They were all dressed in white.
I
They
didn't.
were
Yeah.
smoking.
I didn't
And Patty said, "How did you first hear of us? How did you hear about the?"
Yeah, no.
And when she
That
asked him
was
about
the
the
only time. That
cigarette-
was the only.
Yeah,
time,
that was her questioning
That
him
was
as
the
if he
only
was a
time
member of it.
that was the
Yes.
only time that I actually directly fucking like attributed it to the guilty remnant was when fucking Patty fucking when did you hear about us? Like
well,
when
what
she
about
asked
the
that.
cigarette? When
I didn't
they
fucking
asked
give
him,
a
why
shit
do you,
about
why
the
do you
cigarette.
smoke cigarettes? He lied and said it's because of the nicotine. And then they asked him again after beating
I don't
him
think
a
that
little
has
bit, and
anything-
he said it's because I
Yeah, but
I want to
but the lie
remember
detector
the day
the
that
lie
we lost
detector didn't
everything.
the lie
Which is
detector
why
Which is
the
a
lie
guilty
detector
remnant
did it.
motive.
yeah that's a guilty remnant motive, but Kevin is not a guilty remnant.
But he shares
Oh,
common
it's the whole
similar
point.
It's the exact
beliefs
same
with
thing
Patty.
that Patty was saying when she was saying assassins are really connected with the person that they're trying to kill. They think the exact same way.
Yeah.
They don't want to accept the truth.
Oh,
That's
whoa.
exactly what
That's
she
what Patty
said.
was saying. That's exactly what Patty
No,
was
no,
saying.
no, but that's
Yeah.
not actually why I thought that Patty was saying that. Like, I actually, if we're gonna skip ahead to that thing, then, like, fuck, Jesus. No, I thought that Patty was actually setting the stage for Kevin with that statement. Let's not start there, though. Let's not, like, go all the way to
It
that.
doesn't really matter.
It does.
I thought it was weird that when he chose the secret assassin thing instead of his own clothing. I would have liked to see what happened.
What were his own clothing, by the way?
It was the Mapleton police outfit.
Okay, you
False.
think that... Yeah, see, like, because all
that's
of those...
his father's uniform, and
Oh,
that's
is it?
why we saw another person walking down the hallway.
None of those were
Sorry
his.
to jump ahead, but the guy that had the mask covered over his face, that was his fucking dad.
Wait. So you think that... What?
Because his dad was the police chief before him.
Yeah,
before
but,
the
like,
mental
what do you
illness.
think was happening there? Like, do you think that, like...
He was going to his own judgment.
Yeah, no, but what do you think...
His dad is also dead.
Yeah, but you realize his dad isn't dead.
He said we were in the same hotel room.
Yeah, but he's in
literally
Perth.
the same room.
He
Literally
is literally no,
place.
but like his dad is still in reality. He's on drugs.
Yeah, he's on God's
in
time.
the place.
That's what they said, but I don't think
in
that's true.
Perth. In Perth. Where is Perth?
Australia.
Perth is Australia.
Okay, I thought Perth was Australia. So
and the
he's
man on the bridge was Australian.
no, but he had
Yeah, that's
Aboriginal face paint on his shit.
And so are the two guys that were with him.
Dude, we are bouncing all over the fucking place.
Yeah, so what?
It just doesn't make any sense because like we're not.
It
Well, I
does
started
if
with the-
these
I started
people
with the
have
clothes.
watched it. These are the important things
I
want to
know
about.
what the priest's outfit was for.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with
That was
Matt.
it
but,
said
like,
Alpha and Omega
I
on
think
it.
all of those were potential views for how he sees himself.
Yeah, I
And
think
he
so too. I
chose-
definitely
he
think
chose
that.
the one that he most idealized himself as.
That's how he feels now.
I don't think he chose the one that he idealized himself as, because if he
That's
had
what he thought
because if
I
he had
think he wants to be
idealized
this
himself
guy.
as anything, I think he would have chose the police outfit, because he views himself as the protector, the fucking responsible one, and stuff
No,
like
he
that.
doesn't.
No,
He's
he
running
does.
from shit and trying
He
to be
constantly
secret.
That's
wants
what
to
he
negate
does.
responsibility.
That's what he does. But what
That's
he
why he
wants,
left
but what he
Mapleton.
wants to do is the responsible thing. So what he actually,
that's
yes,
what
he
he-
does.
that's what
He
he
wants to
thinks he
fucking
should
be
do.
there for his family. He wants to actually
That's
have
why
a
he killed
family.
himself.
No, he killed himself. Yes, that is exactly why he killed himself. Was to
Not
fucking
the first time.
no, not the first. Yes, it was actually for the first time. Was to get rid of Patty so he could fucking take care of his family responsibly.
He didn't know
That shit- no,
that
no.
necessarily was
What
going
I
to
think-
work.
no,
he
what
took
I think
the
he
risk
chose-
of the possibility of him actually dying.
What I think he chose was what he actually is. I don't think he chose what he wanted. I think he chose subconsciously who he actually is. The guy that's always trying to fucking shirk responsibility. The guy that's always trying to get away from his family. And that's the international fucking assassin. That's the guy who has no responsibility. The guy that fucking is able to fucking just go everywhere and
someone
fucking
else.
yeah, exactly.
But
Jet
he
set.
shirked responsibilities as a police officer.
He has done
He
that.
cheated
Those
on
are the
Lori.
those are the actions.
He was never there for Jill
Those are
or
the things.
Tom.
Those are the things that fucking Kevin does, not the person that Kevin
He's
wants
talking-
to be.
Yeah,
and the
it's-
person that Kevin wants to be is the police officer.
Yeah.
The person that Kevin actually is the
I
irresponsible,
saw the
the
costumes.
international assassin.
I saw the costumes as possibilities for Kevin's life.
Yeah, they are.
Like
It's
these
the
were all
occupational
paths.
They are.
These were all paths
job.
that Kevin could have taken,
Yeah.
and
They are.
he was supposed to choose what he felt like he was, what represented him best.
I think that
There was even a placard on the dresser.
adorn
that
that
said-
which suits you best or some
Yes.
shit like that. And
So
that
it was
is the
his
person.
perception of himself.
Yeah, but he also is in this weird dreamlike state the whole fucking time, where he is literally just going forth. It's hardly he's barely even thinking. Most of the time, you can see it in the way that he treats Patty, where he's just well, this is the way things are.
Well, I think that was because of the way that he
No, we're
opened
looking
the
at-
door for that man, and the guy was like, "Here's some flowers for you" or whatever, and it turned out to be a fucking assassin. I think he realized in that moment when he had to fight for his life that this place doesn't play by the rules of reality, and that when he is asked questions, he can actually
the assassin
be completely
outfit is
honest
who
for
Kevin.
it.
The assassin outfit is who Kevin actually is.
I think he's right. I think that's who Kevin is now.
And the person
It's
that Kevin
after
wants
the
to be,
departure.
the person that Kevin wants to be, the person that Kevin's striving to be, is the person that takes care of everyone. The
Which
one
is the
that
cop.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is who he was before the
and
departure.
that's still
That's what
who
I'm
he's-
saying. Is he's not the cop. He feels like he's the assassin, but
no,
he
is
actually
the assassin.
isn't.
No, that's actually.
I
who-
think that's actually he gets that from Patty killing herself.
No, I
The-
think
the
that
whole assassin
I
thing?
think no, I
Yeah.
think the assassin thing's from him fucking cheating on his wife and fucking basically when he has a good thing going, him fucking figuring out some way to just fucking break it off at the hinge and fucking just run away from it
Take
all.
on another
That's
I'll
identity.
agree
yeah.
with you that he's compartmentalized parts of his life.
He's not doing that on purpose.
No,
That's
I'm-
his fucking
I
personality
didn't say that
traits.
he did. But I'm just saying that that's how it is for him. Like, his character, there's different sides of him that only certain people see.
It's like,
and that's very similar to an assassin, which is how he would perceive himself, because he knows that he's doing things at night that he's not really aware of, and that he has to keep that secret from other people.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Like the part that's like the assassin is having absolutely no ties to anyone else. Like having,
but he does have ties.
Which is why
he does. But like that's what I'm saying is that he wants the ties, right? But like in reality, the Kevin inside of him fucking is always moving away from everyone else.
Yeah, that's why he didn't want to stay in Jordan. He wanted to keep going.
No, even before the departure happened, like he still fucking like he was in a successful relationship, and his dad was super fucking successful too, and his whole family was super happy, and that fucking
his dad was batshit crazy.
I'm just saying, like Kevin fucking always has that urge to gravitate towards or away from what he actually wants to protect, what he actually wants to save, and it's this weird fucking like split down the middle of what you actually want and what you're capable of fucking maintaining, like is what's going on with Kevin.
Do you guys think that this place is purgatory? Since like
that's a really good question of what this place actually is,
because it's not heaven.
Okay,
and it's not hell.
I started thinking it was the afterlife, but then I also noticed that nobody from the departure was there.
Unless they drank the water.
No.
Oh yeah, nobody from the departure was there, but...
Well, all I know is that everybody that I did see that was there, the only person that I wasn't sure that was departed was Neil. I couldn't remember if Neil had departed or hadn't departed.
No, he died. He even said in the episode that he choked on
Oh yeah, you're right. He did say he choked on a chicken. Okay, so everybody, I feel like
is also in limbo, and she
that's
come back.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Is Mary Jameson is there?
She could just come back at any time.
So like, it's like she is dead, but she isn't.
Yeah.
Unless she died the same night Kevin did.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought it might have been.
But she's been out of her head for a long time.
Yeah. Remember, also, I think that was just. I think
know.
That's actually just a weird nod to her fucking like what's going on with her. Because the guy that went to see her, the guy that went to see her also had a handful of get well soon fucking balloons.
Which is weird.
Say one thing, the whole like don't drink the water thing made me think of like old like kind of stories about fairies and stuff like that, where they'll tell you when
you're right.
If you go into a fairy castle, don't just drink the food because you'll be stuck there.
Yep.
You'll lose sense of time in your perception.
Did you also notice like he came out of water?
Yes.
When like at the very beginning of the episode, he came out.
And he didn't drink any water.
Did you also notice?
He did actually drink some whiskey, by the way.
But that was water, though.
Yeah.
But no, that's I think that the alcohol is actually the antithesis to whatever the water is, because Neil is also the only other person that's drinking liquor there.
And he's like, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. And look at all these crazy motherfuckers around me doing all this crazy shit. Like, he's the only one that sees through.
What if he just didn't choose a role?
Patty did too, the clone.
Okay, here's the question: is what was up with Patty? Like, why
did you get the reference that she made with the cave collapsing?
I did actually get that.
The beginning,
I did.
The very beginning.
Yeah, and that actually made me. And
then the place that Kevin took Patty, child Patty, the well, looked almost like the exact same location where the woman died with her baby, and the other woman picked the baby up.
I don't know about that.
I didn't notice it.
I
forgot all about that.
No, I heard her talking about the well, or I mean about the cave, but I don't know if like the well actually looked anything like that. And also, I was just like listening to fucking basically her making the metaphor to the cave. Where the fuck did I don't know. This is ahead of where I was like looking at, but just on a weird note, did anybody notice the weird Spanish-speaking people throughout the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was up with that? There were like 2 Spanish women in the parking garage fucking talking to themselves, and Kevin kind of noticed them and kept walking by. And then there was another time, it was like the next day where Kevin was walking.
Biochemical stuff?
Well, no, it was where Kevin was walking out of the hotel, and then it was a woman with donated organs.
It was right after the fire alarm went off and he talked to her.
There is some significance there, though.
The lady was saying she needed to get inside.
Yeah, but well, like, what the fuck? Like, what did that mean?
A lot of this episode felt very dreamlike, like very surrealist, where things don't exactly make sense. Yeah. And I feel like the people that were speaking Spanish were supposed to represent, like, him not understanding.
Yeah, but there was something specific going on there with the fucking, like, the organ donor shit. Like, she had organs, and, like, she was trying to get them in, like, the dude just was, like, standing there, like, with glasses.
Like
and,
a dick.
Like, yeah, not listening.
And the...
Okay,
Deep Throat was, like, dead. Deep Throat was dead, but he was a
okay, so
concierge.
Deep Throat,
I
right?
think that's the role he chose from his closet.
Yeah, okay, but, like, he didn't take it on until he drank the water, right?
Because he's a quote-unquote god.
No,
So
he was the concierge before he took the water, because he wrote the note to
but
Kevin
he
to meet
didn't
me
know.
in the parking garage.
Yeah, but he still remembered who he actually was before he drank the water.
Yes.
Yes.
So okay, the water, right, is supposed to like kind of. It seems like kind of like
the water could be the water from the river Styx, which
No.
makes you forget things.
Well, I was gonna say. Well, it could be that, but I was
That
gonna say
makes
it kind of
sense.
like. Well, I was gonna say it kind of like helps you acclimate to the afterlife, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But did you notice that like at the end of the lie detector test, it's like Kevin said he wasn't thirsty, and then it said he was lying.
Yeah,
So-
because he was fucking
'Cause he
thirsty.
was thirsty.
Well, do you know that like noticed also how Kevin keeps repeating to people how he doesn't want to be dead?
Yeah, he's
Like-
been saying that since the episode
Yeah, like
before.
almost like he's trying to reassure himself that he doesn't want to die. Maybe he does want to die. I think that's what
Maybe.
that means. I think that's what it meant with the lie detector.
He
It's
probably,
like
he
it's
probably
like
wishes sometimes he was departed.
well, no, I think that's what that meant was the lie detector was saying like, nah, dude, you are thirsty. You do want to drink the water. You do kind of want to just stay here.
We also need to, I think, remember that what Kevin was doing when the departure happened.
What was it?
He was having sex with a woman who departed right underneath him.
Wow.
What does that have to
That's
do?
how close he
I
came.
forgot about that.
But that's how close he came to being one of them, right?
Yeah, but like no,
So he
like
might
the-
have some sort of survivor's guilt, survivor's remorse
I
going
don't think it
on.
has
Unless
anything
these people are chosen.
You
I don't
never
think
know.
I honestly like when you look at it like that. I don't think it has anything to do with survivor's remorse or anything like that. If anything, I think it's the fact that like Kevin wishes he departed
Did you guys notice?
because like Kevin's always the one trying to run away.
Yeah.
Kevin's
Except
the
for
one.
the first season, like Kevin said, like all he wished for was like to have like a fresh start with his family.
Yeah, to have a fresh start with his family because he's left.
Yeah, and Patty
But
just
like,
wants to
what
destroy
happens
him.
when he's actually the one that's left over? He doesn't want to stay with his family. In fact, he starts creating reasons to break up his family each and every time, and it doesn't matter what fucking family it is. Either his
What
original
reason
family,
did he create in this season to break up his family?
He didn't want to be in
He-
Jordan
he-
to begin with.
well, or he tells fucking Patty that fucking, or he tells Nora that Patty even exists. Like, he does all these stupid things that fucking, like, basically end up fucking shattering his fucking existence. Where if he just shut up and fucking go along with it, it would be fine. But he decides that it's time to end this.
But
He-
it wouldn't be fine because Nora could tell that something was going on with him. That's
Nora'd be
why
fine
she.
with that,
That's
though.
why she like handcuffed him to the bed. Like he also made an agreement with Nora that he was going to be honest with
No,
her.
he actually told her he was sleepwalking. That's why she handcuffed him to the bed.
But
And
she
then
knew
she made
something
this-
was going on.
Because
Which is my
Because
she
he told her
didn't
he
know.
woke up at the fucking lake thing.
yeah.
She wouldn't have known though.
But yeah, he told her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The only reason Nora knows is because he's telling her. Anyway, it doesn't.
Because he said he can't lie to her in the episode, the last episode before this one.
Yeah.
He told her on the phone, I can't lie to you, and you'll know whether or not I'm telling the truth when I tell you something, because I know you'll know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because they have that kind of relationship.
Yeah, and like I think the relationship between Nora and Kevin has a whole lot more understanding than the relationship that he had with Lori.
Yeah.
I think it's like fucking.
Because Lori never even told him that she was pregnant.
But holy shit,
Like
is
that,
Lori gonna
that
still
alone
be there?
that alone shows that like there was like hardly any understanding in their relationship. 'Cause
Nora,
she could not
Nora
trust
even
him with that.
Nora even then started fucking like tons of lies. Like Nora was like living within both of them. Like were neither one being honest with each other fully. Like at the point where Nora disappeared, like fucking Nora was throwing rocks through fucking windows and fucking like stealing those exams without telling Kevin about shit, and he was like listening to voices for months. Like
Yeah, but they had a common trust. When he saw the
a
rock,
common trust that was based on fakeness. Like they weren't
No.
actually being truthful with each other.
I got personally, I just got the impression that he didn't need an explanation for things. He trusted her up front.
Yeah. No, he actually did need an explanation. He didn't need for her to
sit there and explain, oh, this is why I'm stealing these papers.
She could get one.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think he actually needed explanations. I just don't think that he had time to deal with it himself. I think he was too busy dealing with his own shit, and so he didn't have time to fucking ask her, like, hey, why are you stealing this shit? He's too busy dealing about Patty fucking talking about how, like, fucking, if he tells her
he's got bigger problems.
Like, he really did that. He left the fucking baby out on the hood and shit. Like, he fucking...
Do you think that baby was a... Do you think that baby was some kind of nod to the one that Patty was talking about, where she said that they put a baby in her arms and she just put it in a foster home and it's gonna be fine?
I do think it was, actually. And here's another question, too, is, okay, if Holy Wayne was there, which, by the way, cool fucking, like, awesome fucking placement of Holy Wayne, but if Holy Wayne was there, and if fucking the blonde-haired glassed lady was
Gladys.
there... Yes.
Okay, and that wasn't Patty.
Yeah.
Then who was that?
That was some lady from New Hampshire.
No,
I think it was Patty.
I don't
And I think the shot in the head was not what was going to stop her.
I don't think it was Patty.
He had to take her to
I
the
think
well.
that was somebody that fucking Kevin knew, and I'm not even gonna fucking. I have no idea who it could have been.
But it killed her.
Yeah, but
what happens when you die when you're already in purgatory?
See, that's the other thing I was gonna ask with Neil.
I think the soul's free.
Neil was the one person that I guess he did kill Holy Wayne and whatnot, but like that's not even like necessarily. That's not even necessarily purgatory, by the way. That could actually be the afterlife. So he killed at least 3 people. If Patty wasn't actually Patty, then 4 people in the afterlife. Like,
well, because the older man, the one that went with him as the guardian into this afterlife.
Yeah, Deep Throat.
Deep Throat. He made a mention of the adversary being so great, and to me, I thought, okay, well maybe Patty can inhabit more than one body.
It could be, and it could be that it's not even really Patty.
Yes, and I don't necessarily think that it is Patty. I think it's something a little bit bigger than that.
No, I think it is actually Patty, at least who was inside of Kevin, because like that was obviously Patty at the end.
I don't think that who she was as important enough as important as I think that whole section of it was more like a mirror for himself than for him dealing with Patty.
Yeah.
I've got some horrible thought. I've got some horrible thought process going on that like he banished Patty, right? He got her out of his system, but it turns out Patty was actually trying to help him. I've got this horrible. I've this feeling that like whatever is vital to like solving the problem that is having the leftovers, Patty knew the fucking answer to that, and Kevin got rid of her before she could fucking say it.
She said
she didn't even know why she was there. She said.
Well, she said that, and she also said she promised Kevin that if he acknowledged her existence, that she would show him the truth.
Yeah, but that never happened.
But what is the biggest acknowledgement of her existence?
Him killing himself?
Than him not only killing himself, but then going into the spirit realm and then killing her several times.
All she did,
he saved her life, and then he killed her.
The only truth he got from her, the only truth he got from her was like, "Hey, you're."
I'm saying we haven't seen the truth yet.
Okay.
This is leading up
so
to
far,
the truth.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say about the Patty stuff, like about how Patty was like she was talking about like opposing sides sharing beliefs.
Yeah.
Right. And then directly after fucking she said about opposing sides sharing the beliefs, that's when Kevin accuses her of destroying families.
Yeah.
Now, if she's talking about opposing sides sharing beliefs and he's talking about her destroying families, then
that's what he does.
Exactly, that's what he does.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier when he said that the assassin is just like the person he wants to kill. John Wilkes Booth and Lincoln both had the same ideals, but he killed Lincoln because he had the same ideals, and he didn't want to admit that. Yeah, he didn't want to.
Well, then that almost backs up even more the fact that Kevin actually legitimately wants to kill himself.
I'm sure he wants to die. I'm sure he wanted.
Like
to
I have the feeling that that's the big thing that you almost want to take away from all this. Like in the background is like that Kevin fucking doesn't want to be alive, even if he has real reasons to want to be alive.
I want to know,
and he acknowledges those too. But
I want to know what the man on the bridge said to Kevin in the whispers.
Yeah, the whispers. It was something about Patty.
Well, I think it was something about the dad.
It could have been about Azrael.
Because the dad said that he was in Perth, Australia. This guy had a very clear and distinct Australian accent. He shows up with a noose on the bridge and puts it around Kevin's neck and asks him if he wants to jump. And then has this whisper conversation with him. And then Kevin takes Patty off to the well.
I kind of felt
back to Patty before we get like into that part of it though, but like back to the politician scene, right, or right before he capped her.
Yeah.
Like I almost like don't think that was a real Patty, and if like I think it still might be a real person, but even if it is a real person or just a segment of Patty, I think that was practice. I think that was set up.
I thought it was a trick to see if they could just get him
see, like, it seems like a trick, right?
Yeah.
But I think it was actually set up to build up Kevin's confidence. Because first he has to go through that hardcore cold shit. But, like, they put him through that so he's willing to kill a child.
Well, that's kind of what I meant when I said that I feel like Patty can inhabit more than one body.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think she
was
did
in
it.
that body at that moment. She tried to convince him that she wasn't who she said she was.
I don't think she did it, dude.
And
like,
then he still killed her, and so then he can figure out later on that the actual little girl that he saved in the pool is the person he's now going to have to drown in the well. Like...
Also, I would have freaked the fuck out after I shot her and, like, nothing happened. I would have thought I was, like, stuck.
He did.
Like, I would have fucking... No, he didn't. He went in the hallway and started drinking with Neil.
They used that song quite a bit.
He went down to fucking Deep Throat, and he's like, "Why am I still here?"
Yeah.
He told me I would.
Oh yeah.
And that's when Deep Throat had been drinking the water, which I don't know if I mentioned it, but the water. There's a big focus on water in this season, right?
Yeah, Jordan's water.
Oh yeah,
and all the people were gathering the water before that like riverbed or whatever got drained when Kevin tried to kill himself the first time.
And the guy was trying to sell it.
Yeah, and the guy was trying to sell it for like buku bucks, and then now Kevin is having to avoid the water so he doesn't like cross over permanently to this other side. Is how I like understood it.
What was up with the bird? Also, what do you think the bird represented?
That was
Kevin.
That was the.
Wait, but is it Kevin?
I thought
because he was buried, but
yeah.
But was it also?
I don't think it was. Kevin.
I thought it was Deep Throat because he killed himself.
Yeah, see, I think it might have been.
That was Deep Throat's last
been.
ounce of him knowing what he was. Because he said, "I don't want this bird to die."
I'll concede that that's a possibility.
It could just be one of the birds that the daughter was burying.
So you think that the hooded police officer was the dad?
Yes.
Which I don't think really makes much sense because the dad was just on the television set the moment before, and if that was to make sense, then that means that the people inside of the dream were making him do that, and then dressing him up in the outfit to drag him out with a hood on his head, and he was naked when he was doing that with fucking face paint on. So
yeah,
I think
and I also
a
feel like
different.
This place doesn't really follow time. It doesn't follow reason.
Yeah.
No.
I think I know.
It's like a dream where things don't necessarily.
I think it was
make
actually
sense.
a real
I think
place.
I know what this bird was. I think this bird was the wish that his daughter had made for everything to go back the way it was, for the daughter to come back, the other daughter to come back. The one that was in Wicca and Wiccan.
You're right. It does go back to the
because
burying the bird.
Those birds started dying.
Well, remember what I said last episode, where I was like, "What if Kevin actually like this guy? The kid buries him, and then he fucking comes out of the ground."
I think that's right.
Like
I think you're right
that's
about
exactly
that.
what happened.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Because that forest has.
I'm not 100%. I'm not
properties.
100% sure though, because one, Kevin wasn't in a big box, and two,
No.
Well,
the one.
No, the bird wasn't him. I think the bird was the wish. The bird was the wish. I think. It was this bird spirit that died in the box, and it was kind of like in that purgatory.
Yeah.
So it could have came back, and that's why the grandpa Deep Throat was like,
I hope they don't kill it.
I hope they don't kill that bird.
Yeah.
I think
I'll give an alternate theory on what the other cop was, and I think that could have just been another version of himself.
I thought that too.
And
I think it's himself too.
And we get to it later.
Why did you say then you thought it was the dad?
We get to it later when he's on the bridge. When they were on the bridge, and there were like 6, 7, or 8 other nooses tied to the bridge.
I didn't see that.
Those could have been other versions of him who decided not to kill her.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Oh, he could have been stuck in a loop.
If you think
the international assassin version of himself was the only one who could have made the choice to kill the child.
What about
That makes sense
the priest in the elevator?
Sense.
Like what?
He looked very sad.
The priest in the elevator
Did he
wasn't.
come off as
wasn't
sad
the
to
priest
you
that
guys?
died.
For me, I'm with Ian on this one. In the way that like each of those outfits represents a different part of Kevin, right? And so I do think that the guy in the hood was Kevin, but I think the crying priest was also Kevin, and I just couldn't figure out.
It wasn't the same
The
outfit.
priest outfit was different.
It was a different. No, it was a different outfit, but that doesn't mean that it didn't like represent still the same thing that Kevin would have represented if he had worn a priest outfit. So
well,
like
by that standard, then almost everybody there would have been him.
I thought
no,
the
it
priest
wouldn't
outfit
because not everybody was wearing a
almost
priest.
identical to what
Not
Eddie
everybody was
Winslow
wearing a
was
priest-
wearing in the beginning of the show.
Not everybody was wearing a priest outfit. Not everybody was wearing a policeman's outfit. Not everybody was wearing Italian fucking like suits. So like those are the only three options that were in his
Well, if
closet.
that was the way, why wouldn't it have been the same outfit then?
What?
Why wouldn't it have been the same?
Yeah, wouldn't it have been the same?
Because
outfit
like
from the
it's not
closet?
trying to outwardly fucking like
The cop
show
outfit
you.
was exactly
No, I
the
think
same.
that was
That
like
was the only outfit.
No,
that
I
saw
think
that
that
was
was
the
I
same.
think that was some weird fucking like hidden. And even then, we don't know it's exactly the same. We only recognize it as a cop outfit the same we recognize.
It said Mapleton Police on it.
Which one?
The one when he was walking down the hallway, and that's why I thought.
Yeah,
it
but
was
did you
the
see?
dad,
But did
know
you
that-
see the Mapleton Police on the fucking like uniform in the closet?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
And we know that the dad was the chief of police before he went into the mental hospital.
No, it was a patch on the arm. It said Mapleton.
And then the other.
So I thought it could
outfit
possibly have been the dad.
Yeah, the little shawl thing, like the thing to wrap around the neck was different. Like there was a purple one.
The whole outfit was kind of purple.
And then the other outfit was a.
No, it wasn't the whole
guilty
outfit.
remnant outfit.
I thought.
there was
Eddie
a guilty
Winslow.
remnant one in
Oh,
there?
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah, a white shirt.
No, I missed. I remember there were three. I fucking was gonna ask you.
I
guys
caught
what
on to
the fourth
color
one
more than I
was.
did the white one.
The what Eddie Winslow was wearing in the beginning of the show, he had one of those purple wraps with the priest outfit.
Yeah.
I think actually, like, if anything, like, this whole episode is showing that Kevin may have been meant to be a guilty remnant. Almost everything about him is, like, very guilty remnant.
He shares Patty's beliefs, but he won't accept it, and so that's why he needs to kill her.
Well, and he also doesn't act on them necessarily.
He doesn't want to accept the fact that.
Well, no, like there's like the person,
apart.
there's the person that like is like what everything he wants to do, and then there's the person where Kevin knows what he should do, and like he keeps choosing the decisions of what he should do, but it's like killing him because of what he needs to do, what he knows he's supposed to do. Like he's choosing a righteous path, but it's not the right path, unfortunately. I think
it's literally showing that there were 4 possibilities for Kevin's character to take. He could have joined the guilty remnant. He could have taken on the persona of a priest, right?
Yeah. Well, wait, that's the one that really confuses me, actually.
Because
like
I see
the assassin in him. I see the guilty remnant in him. I even see the police officer in him, but I don't see the priest.
I think the priest
he has visions. He has a spiritual connection.
Right, but the writing on the priest was the Greek letters for Alpha and Omega, which is kind of like the end of the world apocalypse kind of thing. So I kind of have a feeling that it's...
the beginning and the end.
Yeah, the beginning and the end. So I kind of feel like it's not really as much a priest thing that he is, as much as it is like the end of times.
Yeah, but like the one thing that Kevin isn't willing to do is admit to reality.
Yeah, I kind of felt like he was going to be inside that room and then wake up and then change outfits.
The end is always admitting to reality.
I think that priest outfit was more like a symbol of if he would have accepted that all of this had to do with like a religious aspect of the world.
Yeah.
So is that why
this is actually
which he might feel like it might be, and that's why it's there.
I mean, you could probably be right on that because if that was the case, that would explain why he was crying. Is because like that's literally the portion of Kevin that he like ignores the most.
Well,
he fucking will not accept that like the world might actually be over unless he's getting wind explode.
I don't think necessarily the priest in the elevator was him as much as it might have just been an actual priest, like being sad about what that place was.
That priest might be someone that we don't recognize.
Actually,
that died in.
No, I think I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick
episode.
to that. I'm gonna stick to fucking like it hit the priest being
Kevin's representation of something.
Well, the part though that he knows exists, but he doesn't want to like deal with it. Like basically in the way that like Patty is a mirror to Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Patty is okay. And what does Patty fucking talk about dying in that well? She fucking talks about the time that she did win Jeopardy. She won it 3 to 4 days in a row, and she came out with so much money that she could basically change her life forever. And what did she do though? She didn't
She
do
stayed with Neil.
She didn't do shit. And why did she do that?
She was trying to earn the money to leave Neil, and then she stayed with him.
But why? Is because she was afraid. She was afraid to change her life. Is what she said.
I kept thinking that was supposed to be.
Like,
her.
she didn't say that. She was afraid of dying.
No, she was afraid at that moment because she thought she was dying, but she said that directly after she had just told her story about Neil, and that means that's why she was afraid.
That's a conclusion you're jumping to.
I don't see any other
Well,
reason why they would have fucking told
That's
the
thing.
story
There's
like that.
this episode was so fucking weird that there's so many different ways that everything can go. We all might be wrong.
You said it reminded you of a show, by the way, Ian.
Twin Peaks.
I got Twin Peaks out of it a little bit, but there was another show that reminded me of more.
Lost.
Nope. But Lost, I got out of it too. But there was
you
one.
can say no, but that's how I feel.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm saying for me that's
What
not what it was. For me, it reminded me a fuckload of Life on Mars, like a ton about Life on Mars, which basically is about, like, if you haven't seen it, it's about a cop who fucking gets hit by the car in 2013 and wakes up in 1973, and basically can't tell if he's always lived in that fucking time and is having some fucking crazy weird fucking mental breakdown, or he's like fucking been hit by a car and transported back in time, or he's just dying.
Or has died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what that room is. It also reminds me of the Sopranos episode where he wakes up.
If you haven't seen Life on Mars, you should watch Life on Mars.
I haven't seen it, but you remember when Sopranos?
I got that too.
Remember when Sopranos when he was dying,
Yes.
and he was that guy that was selling stuff on it with that briefcase. He was the Irishman.
Yep.
Tony Soprano was an Irishman, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just here for this conference
like what his
thing."
life would have been like if he had nothing to do with.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Yeah.
You're right.
I
It
felt
is like
the-
that episode of Sopranos.
I felt like the
for
costumes
sure.
were a lot of like what ifs. For
God,
Kevin.
everything's like Sopranos.
Well,
Fargo had a Sopranos
was
moment.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
On a note, I think it would, like, I'm gonna miss Patty, but I think
She might not be gone.
I was
You don't
gonna.
know
That's
Gone.
exactly what
I
I was
don't
gonna
think she's
say. I
gone.
think it'd be really fucking awesome if, like, at the very beginning of the next episode, you get that flashback of Michael saying "Holy shit," and then Patty's just there still.
And not just Patty, but Deep Throat's right behind her.
No,
and they're like, "Sup, man?"
Did anybody?
Neil.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know if this was actually happening, by the way, in the real world, or if this was just runoff of the fucking afterlife still, or wherever Kevin went. But was there an earthquake? Another fucking earthquake?
That's what I wanted
going
to talk about, because that's the same kind of earthquake noise that we were getting when the lake opened
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
I think it's a theatrical theme. It's not necessarily what's happening.
No,
in
but
the
that was
show.
literally
I
happening.
think it's,
Right.
I think it's
When
to
an
show you that the earth
adversary
is shaking, that things are falling
Right.
apart.
And the reason why I thought that at first, like, is this an earthquake? And then when
it was
Deep
literally
Throat's-
happening in the dream.
Right, but
Or
when Deep
in the
Throat's son
afterlife.
Right, but when Deep Throat's son walks out with the coke and the flashlight, he doesn't
wasn't
seem
like,
to care
oh
about
my God,
about
there's an
earthquake.
earthquake. Like,
Yeah,
he
but
was
at the same
totes
time, he did
normal.
come out of nowhere for a reason. Like,
Right, I think the sound was just a
So-
representation.
Well, it
it's
showed
kind
that
of
there
like when
was-
Jesus rose again.
It showed that there was a chair.
There's an
There was a
earthquake.
chair sitting there, and it almost seemed as if he had gotten up to get a drink, or he had gotten up to go to the bathroom or something, and was coming back to sit and watch
Yeah.
the spot where he
yeah,
buried
but
He's
Kevin.
been
like,
sitting there with
okay,
cokes
even
for
if
a
you'd
while.
gotten, even if you've gotten up to fucking go take a piss or something, like, you could just be coming back, but you could also be coming back because an earthquake just happened.
But he
Like-
wasn't,
But
like-
he didn't seem
He
distressed.
wasn't. Yeah, he
He was just
wasn't
kinda-
like freaking out.
Yeah,
like,
he was
oh
just
my
kind of
God.
waltzing in there.
He just was
none
like,
of the, none
oh
of the
shit.
stuff on that like little
He had a coke.
cooler in front of him is moving. Or
Yeah,
anything.
he walked in with a coke in his hand. He was like, oh shit, like that.
Holy shit.
It wasn't like, oh my God, like he
It's
wasn't
like,
like
a visual metaphor
rushing over to see if it came up or anything.
for
he
like
kinda
the
waltzed
We'll
in.
ground.
find out in the beginning
Maybe.
of the next episode.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
The
like,
sound effects
fucking maybe.
definitely was some kind of nod towards what happened.
Also,
though.
it's-
The sound
I think
effect was.
it's probably the same night he took the poison that he's coming out at the.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't 3 days later.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
Well,
3
we
days
don't know.
for the birds for the
Yeah.
3 days.
yeah. That's
Oh,
what I was
yeah,
gonna
you're
say,
right,
is we
you're
don't
right.
know. And also the bird thing is after 3 days Christ rose or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Resurrected.
With a big earthquake first.
Mm.
Well, yeah.
or after
I
he
guess it
died,
could
the
do that.
earthquake happened.
I also like really liked how fucking Kevin just pushed little Patty in there.
Yeah.
He was just so like, fuck, this is too hard.
I thought that the actress that they got for little Patty was like super awesome. and
She was
cute.
really cute.
She's gonna throw me
She was
in.
really
Yeah.
cute. But like, dude, man, like when they really
She was like the antithesis of Patty.
No, it was what? No, she actually wasn't the antithesis to Patty. She had fucking like squinty eyes like Patty and stuff like that.
No, I mean with what she said. Like, she was more vulnerable with Kevin than Patty ever was throughout this entire show.
Like,
just in that 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you were just hearing what Patty was actually thinking on the inside. Like, you're seeing why Patty acted, how Patty acted was because she felt all those ways about herself that the little girl felt. That little girl was cute, but like it was like in that weird way where it's just like her eyes were really squinty and her teeth were really fucking like she was cute like a cartoon character can be cute, like not like a human being can be. Because
they wanted her to be someone that you were like, oh, he can't kill her.
Well,
I think that just has
a look and a presence of innocence.
No, yeah. I think I was gonna say I think that just has to do how they cast with little kids, but like I was just noting how like she was really cute, but she is not cute in the way that you would ever range like an adult person is cute.
But it's also kind of like not what she was like in the real life, where she was like, I want to do battle with you.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is like she was like the opposite of how Patty was in the real world.
Which could have been like...
It was more the innocent root of how Patty became what she is.
Right. No, I think that I want to do battle with you is all a means to an end to the innocent fucking reality of that, like,
she was
person.
All bark.
No, I think she was trying to get back to that. Like, that's the way she always felt, and like the fucking hard veneer is how she gets everybody to funnel her into that.
Well, I think it just reinforced the idea that Patty was an extremely damaged person even before she was with Neil. She was having, all of these like her dad was telling her all of these things that gave her all these like complexes about herself, and so when the departure did happen, it like reinforced that idea that she had all along that something bad was coming.
Yeah.
And like we were basically just seeing like the developmental side of like how Patty became who she was / is, because we don't know.
Yeah, this episode we could talk about this for a long time because it was so open to suggestion.
That cave
interpretation.
That cave reference like totally got me. I was just like, damn.
I didn't even think of that because I totally forgot about it.
Here's the thing though, is like she was a politician in that scene, and politicians talk in big fucking metaphors like that. So I still, even though she directly referenced that fucking cave from the first episode, I still couldn't tell if she was like actually referencing like that specific cave or if it was just another metaphor to fucking like human loss and like fucking,
I will agree
like,
that she could have been talking about a lot of things with
like
the cave.
Even in the beginning episode,
I've been looking the entire show for something to link back to that cave and that beginning that we saw because I thought that intro
but like
was so weird.
even that very beginning intro could still like vague. Even though we saw it, like that could still be a fucking metaphor for something, and I think
it is.
Well, what do you think it is?
I think it was. I think it's actually not even really a metaphor. I think it was the first leftovers.
And also,
that's what I'm saying though. Is if it is a metaphor, which we don't know if it's real or if it's just a metaphor. Like, what do you think it's a metaphor for? And like,
maybe just like an unknown force that comes down and like basically separates you from all of your like humankind or like the people that you know.
No,
or, like,
it's not even
no.
It's just coping with human loss.
I was thinking it could be something along the lines of like, if a cave collapses and there's like an ecosystem in that cave, it's not going to worry about it not being able to reach that outside world. It's just going to learn. It's just going to learn how to deal with what's in there, and so all the species that are still left in there are going to evolve to live in total darkness.
I mean that's an interesting.
And the people, and in the same sense, the people on the outside are going to try and learn how to survive too without them.
That's interesting, but like the fact of the matter is like they showed that cave right after it was done, and it wasn't like a survivable one. It's like literally that fucking cave went from
I don't mean people.
10 feet in the air to like fucking.
I don't mean people. I mean like the cave animals itself. In there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying like that shit fucking went to like an igloo of stone to like flat on the fucking ground.
Well, like the only thing that I noticed after Dr. Frankenstein mentioned it was like in that beginning thing that we saw with the Native Americans in the cave and all that stuff. She had a baby, then she died, then the baby was given to someone else.
Yep.
And the other people took it in. Just like the lady said, I got a baby, and that baby's
going to be fine. Like
it's the same. It's kind of the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a cycle.
You can say it's a cycle, but like how you like that's what I'm saying is like, how can you say that like that is something that's real that's happened, or that isn't just a big fucking metaphor for everything that's happening?
Well, the whole story is a metaphor for lots of things.
No. That's what I'm saying, though, is like you're talking about this shit like it may have actually happened, and I'm not saying that it didn't actually happen.
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you.
What I'm saying
is
that like no, I'm not saying that it is a metaphor or it is a metaphor. I'm saying that you can't tell the difference on whether or not it is.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like you can't tell. You can't tell.
Saying concrete anything.
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell right now. Like if that's something that is representative of something, even though we've seen it, like that very first episode showed it. Like, that could still just be representative of what happened to fucking mankind and everybody the second that departure happened.
Yeah. My thoughts are about
and even though even though Patty referenced it in that fucking, like, Deadland. Right? Like, that could still just be referencing a metaphor to what happened to humankind on the departure. And like, that's what I'm saying is I'm waiting for something to, like, 100% tell me, hey, that cave shit actually happened or didn't happen.
I don't think you're necessarily going to get that because we're dealing with one of the guys who created Lost. Like,
yeah, but Lost at least
the show is only going to create, like, questions, and it's going to give you a little bit of answers, but it's going to leave, I think, a lot up for your own interpretation. And
we'd all said that this shit might get really fucking weird before it gets, like, to make
the weird
sense
stuff
at all.
Generally,
and the weird stuff is happening.
Yeah. The weird stuff's generally the stuff that Lost, like, actually delved into.
Are we gonna get more weird? Do you think?
I think we're gonna get more weird at this point. Like not like filming weird as weird as, but I think that like they could hit on some like story elements that still could be weirder. Like, I think Michael could be weirder. I think God on the fucking stand could be weirder. I think whatever the fucking the dad is doing in Perth could be much weirder.
Yeah, I wonder if they're ever gonna show what he's doing.
Well, they did, kind of. He's fucking setting fires in hotel rooms.
Yeah, but
setting fires, too, inside of them.
It's like living, it's like Fear and Loathing.
Wasn't the National Geographic that he had
in Perth?
For Australia?
Yeah, no. I thought it was in South America.
Well, I guess we don't have a consensus on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was extremely weird that the guy that would be whispering these, like, secret nothings into Kevin's ear is also Australian.
Yeah, we should know.
And the fire thing.
Wait, who the fuck said he was Australian?
He had an Australian accent.
He had a major Australian accent.
The guy on the bridge.
Man on the bridge.
The guy with the machete and the noose.
Yeah.
I guess. I didn't, like, I did think that it was notable for him to say that this is more real than anything, though.
Yeah.
Like, did that mean to, like, in general, like, that actually is more real, or did that mean, like, his soul?
The fire?
I think he meant the soul thing.
The fire? Does the communication work both ways? If Kevin, like, starts a fire in that forest, is he going to be able to communicate with his dad?
No, his dad is fucking communicating from the real world.
Yeah, he's communicating through the real world.
That's what I'm saying, is, like, his dad was actually in fucking Perth, Australia.
And cultures would use fire in ceremonies to communicate with the like spirit world and stuff like that.
Okay.
The reason why the fire alarm was going off is because they were in the exact same room, but it's just everything kind of mirrors. Yeah, like Texas, and then on the other side of the world, it's probably Australia, I guess. Might have been geo-locked. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, and it's not even the other side. That's just literally where his dad was at, and I'm guessing like. I'm guessing when you go to the afterlife, like if this is like from what I've seen of it in the Leftovers world, is like. When you die, your brain fucking extrapolates shit. And it fucking, like, basically pulls everything and anything from your life to explain what's actually happening to you in the afterlife. Or try to, in whatever, like, weird way that it can. And, in his way, like, fucking, literally, it took elements from what was happening to his dad in the real world and implemented them into his actual hallucination. Because he was going to communicate with his dad, and I guess the afterlife fucking knew that somehow.
Could have been.
Like, my other question...
it had to have been. If his dad was in the exact hotel room that he was in.
That's assuming that time works the same way on the other side.
No, it really doesn't. The afterlife still fucking made it look exactly like the hotel room that his dad was in.
That's true.
No matter what.
Every Marriott looks exactly the same, too.
My other question was...
But it was that room.
Yeah, because the alarms were going off.
Who was sending the balloons and stuff to Mary?
That's a good question. That part seemed very much outside of the realm, and it almost... I felt like it legitimized Matt. because it made it like so like Mary does still exist somewhere else. You know, it showed that.
Did Matt somehow work out a way to send her like treats?
I don't think that's the case.
Well, I mean, I'm just
prayer.
I'm trying to think about the sacrifice that he's making religiously.
I think anything
down in that little commune area.
I think anything and everything that we saw in this last episode was meant for Kevin to see.
Yeah,
that was Kevin's afterlife.
Kevin's gonna have something to tell him.
So if like basically like or maybe he won't have something to tell him, but it was showing that like Mary might get well soon. You know, like it showed her receiving balloons from a man
or if you want to be half as glass is half empty.
She's gone.
She's stuck here, and there's no way that she's
she could be drinking
can get
water.
out. She's not like Kevin, where somebody is going to bury her body in this Jarden woods, where she's going to be able to revive herself.
But like, what I mean is that you're not looking at like possibly the real afterlife. You're looking at like
she doesn't have a guide either.
No, you're looking at fucking Kevin's afterlife.
Yeah, this
which
was all
is
about
different
Kevin.
than the real afterlife. Like nobody could have been real in that place aside from Kevin, and that may have still been the same exact way.
But what about Deep Throat?
Deep Throat.
He was there as his guide.
No, but he says that he was even there. But like even then, it was still like. Very, very. Even before he drank the water, like he was still like in and out. You know, like it was weird.
Well, it seemed like he was being secretive, not necessarily in and out. Like he was trying to like keep a cover for both of them.
Like
so
he was.
Kevin could accomplish what he had to do.
No, like he didn't like reference that like anything that happened before they'd gotten there, and he fucking like didn't act like it was the afterlife. He kept calling it the hotel. Like he literally was like. Having a hard time telling the difference between the two places before he'd even drink the water. Like it was weird. Like how he was communicating, and he said like you are an international agent. Like you are an international spy. Like it was just weird the way he talked about it.
It was weird.
It was like whereas Kevin fucking remembered everything like perfectly. You know, like he was like I fucking just drank some poison and now I'm here.
That might have been the difference between like Deep Throat was 100% dead. There's no coming back from shooting yourself in the mouth.
And
like
Kevin's
that.
buried in the ground.
Kevin,
with the expectation that
Kevin
he's
was
going
sort of
to
still
be revived.
linked to the real world. Like,
well, maybe.
And has the possibility of coming back because he only poisoned himself. He didn't fucking blow out his brains like the fucking black man.
Maybe. Like, I think it might have more to do with the fact that it's in Kevin's afterlife than his.
We're probably getting half the answers in the next episode.
I don't think we'll actually get any answers about this one,
so
to be honest. I think like all the answers that we were going to get from this episode are within the episode. The only thing we're going to get moving on forward is probably what Kevin's purpose is from this point forward.
And if Patty's really gone.
Yeah. If Patty is really gone, I think there's still going to be some underlying nature where he's going to have to find out why Patty was there in the first place.
Yeah.
And, like, he's going to learn that she was there for a reason.
Yeah.
And that it was a really fucking important reason. And he might have actually needed Patty, but now he's going to have to do it all on his own.
Yeah.
That's what I get out of it.
Or he'll have to find some way to get her back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. But yeah, great fucking episode. Really fucking good.
Hot debates on this one.
This one and Fargo were awesome. Ash vs. Evil Dead, not as awesome. And I hope it starts getting more awesome, but I guess I shouldn't expect fucking crazy fucking revelations or profound fucking like shit from
Sam Raimi.
Well, or just from Evil Dead. Because that's really not what it's about.
Yeah, I just felt like these were weaker than the other three.
I agree with you on that, though.
I hope he doesn't keep following. Used to the formula.
Well,
yeah.
no,
we're gonna fight a Deadite a little bit, and
there
then
was
there's gonna be a little bit of story.
Well, like
there wasn't much fighting, though.
Well, what we were talking about also, like about how Evil Dead 1 is the actual like scary one.
Yeah, it was.
And the rest are kind of like the jokey ones.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I like Ash's jokey, but like I think that they should focus more on the serious side.
They should balance it a little bit more.
It's gonna be like something like on the lines of it's gonna go like almost apocalyptic, where if they don't stop it, like it's gonna start affecting bigger areas of the world.
Yeah, but see, like at that same time, like I don't know, man, like
because otherwise it's only really affecting him right now.
Like that has to be the very end though, because I really don't even want to see fucking Ash in the post-apocalypse.
I don't mean post-apocalypse.
You know what I mean?
I just mean like more than him and like the three people he's with all the time are gonna know about Deadites.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know what I want from this show really.
Let's just ride with it until the end of the
Yeah.
season, and then say whether or not it was a piece of shit.
It's definitely like right in the line of it's above average. That's only because so much other like TV is below average.
But now it's starting to show that we're only having half-hour episodes, and now it's starting to show that you can't really put that much into a half hour.
Of the 3 shows we've talked about, it's definitely the one that's like in the rut the most at the moment.
At the moment,
I
but
just think
I don't.
it's hard
I
for
have
them to
faith in
find
you.
a balance between like the fun, like quirkiness of Evil Dead, and also creating like a solid storyline that's going to draw people in.
Well, Bruce
Yeah.
Campbell's always entertaining, but they're gonna have to do a lot more to make the chick entertaining past what she's already done. And then Pablo, like I do hope that they actually, like, now that you guys mention it, I hope they do turn him into a Brujo. Because,
Yeah.
like, we really need him to be more interesting than just the fucking dude that worked at Value Smart and, like, fucking sucked up to the fucking, like, washout.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I need more than that.
But
like,
the only way to find out is to watch next Saturday
yeah.
to see what happens.
Yep.
And listen to our podcast.
Yeah, listen to us.
And also,
Obey us.
Happy Thanksgiving.
if anyone is listening, maybe send us your recommendations for TV shows that are coming out soon that you might want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk. We watch a lot of TV, so chances
we've
are
been
we watch what you
debating
watch.
it and on what we should listen to next, and like maybe if you push us in the right direction, we'll choose something that you want to listen to.
Not even push us. We're open to suggestions.
Yeah, and if
we argue amongst ourselves though, like what we want to listen to. So maybe if somebody else
or watch
that wasn't us was all like, hey, we want to listen to that, then maybe we just tell each other to shut up and do what you want.
Yep.
So
yeah, and if we're not talking about the show that you want to talk about, put it in the comments because we'll probably answer you.
Yep.
We probably watch the same shows. One of us will know something.
We watch a lot of TV, guys.
There's 4 people with 4 different lives.
It's
that
like
we can
an
watch
ass
different
stigma.
things.
Never mind.
Evan's gonna rape.
No.
Anyway,
but yeah, we might have Greg on.
We might have Greg on,
Special guest.
which is our friend. He loves cheese sticks and Slinkies, and he is just out of control, ridiculous.
Just